Okay, now we're recording. We love a good cake, we do. I got a good cake for you. Gestures to own ass. We're streaming. We are doing spreadsheet stuff. I'm leaning away from the mic, so I sound kind of distant. Don't worry about it. Don't adjust your receiver. Everything is coming through fine. I just got done eating a delicious chocolate raspberry cake. Holy hell. It's been a nice, cool, rainy day here. I got boba. Went on a little walk with Dash. Expected to just get like a little snack, but we went on a longer walk, and then we went grocery shopping, and I got charcuterie and cake. Because I get my normal stuff tomorrow. And this is just what was appealing to me today. For boba, what'd I get? I got a mango smoothie with brown sugar boba in it. Yeah. So good. Just prepping last couple of things. Why'd you hit the recording button if you weren't really ready to go, Alex? Is my response to that question. I don't have an answer. Booba tea? God, I wish. Where's that titty tea at? Give me that titty. Herbal tea, black tea, green tea. Oh, that's all fine and good. But the titty is where it's... If it's not evident, I have much more energy than I had yesterday. in a good way. I slept in today. I actually got a decent amount of sleep. Do I even want to open this fucking charcuterie right now? Yeah, kinda, but it's gonna take too long, and that's a treat for later. Chai tea equals TT equals titty. Shit, she's right. Genius. This is why etymology matters, kids. Because if you didn't have etymology, you wouldn't know that chai tea is actually titty. And people say that words aren't fun. Alright, yeah. We've been live for 5 minutes. I can get rid of the overlay. Okay. Stream is started. Stand by. Don't need to stand by. Ah, black screen. How many overlays do you need, Alex? At least 3. At least 3 is how many I need. There's me. Beautiful. I look a little less soaked. And by the lighting in here, you would not know it's been a rainy day with hail. You would not know. Am I gonna put the scarf back on? It's a little wet, but it was very cozy to wear around earlier. Maybe. Tuck. Do-do-do-do, boo-doo-boo-boo-boo-boo. Nah. I'm gonna do it like this. Bloop. There, comfy. I'll just stretch. Stretch. It's not a kufiya. It looks like a kufiya, kinda. It looks like an inverted kufiya, but like the pattern's all wrong. Stay in focus. The pattern's all wrong for a kufiya. It's the right material though. Wait, I was doing something. I don't remember. I don't remember. That's okay. Make me small. Alex looking like every white CNN war report in Syria circa 2015. I'm reporting to you now from Baghdad. Oh, oh, uh, that's a good read, Capra. That's a good read. It hurts, but it's a good read. I would never report the news. Never. Never. This just in. You're cute. Have a nice ass. Poggers, poggers. Alright, what are we doing here? We still adding stuff? Carbon's still adding stuff. Hey, Carbon. Carbon, quit adding stuff. Oh, Mansa. Mansa is a great title. I'm gonna reject it. Because I don't like titles for systems. But Mansa's a great title. Mansa is a great title. Okay, you know what? You can keep messing around with Mansa, and I'm gonna just sort range. Before we get started, people did notice the new thing I added. People were very confused by it, despite the fucking... Oh, it's not locked. Okay, hold on, somebody fucked that up. View, freeze, okay, that makes sense why these jokers didn't see it. Somebody unlocked this today. God damn it, people not be smart. Okay. This wasn't locked earlier, or somebody unlocked it for some stupid fucking reason. They didn't see the red equals repeat thing, so they were very confused. Kind of funny reading through it, also kind of depressing. I swear there were Armenian words at one point. Did I reject them? Did we categorize them elsewhere? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Chumash, I did reject the only Chumash word we have, but it'd be nice to have them. Okay, we'll go down the line. Rubal Kali. Rubal Kali's not good. Empty quarter. Yeah. Because it literally refers to the quarter of Arabia that is empty. Doesn't make sense outside of... literal name doesn't make sense outside of context of Arabia. Codex. And were some people taking the rejections a little too personally today? Yes. Making me uncomfortable? Yes. It's not great. Just take the L. Don't make it personal. It's weird when you make it personal. Side. Sad? Sad? Fortune, luck, success, happiness, thing. Yeah. I don't think that was a hard read, right? That's just a personality trait that we've come to know at this point. And look, I kind of get it, but also like it's some uncomfortable energy to be putting out there for other people to have to deal with. Okay, this Saida, Suida, Sada. Interesting, but it's a pronunciation mark over it. Like, I get being invested. I totally do, but also, like... I don't know. I don't know. It's a very... It's very, like, calling somebody to be like, hey, why did you reject my my application to your company? Energy. Like, ooh, man. That is not energy that I'd be putting out there. That is not the way I would engage with that. I just noticed. That light should not look like that. That light, oh thank you for the alarm, should look like that. There we go. Queer code it. Oh, we got about 30 minutes until I'm doing drugs on stream. Legal prescription drugs on stream. I guess this is fine. Does this actually pan out? Not even taking the is there something I can do to have better chances in the future. Yeah, it's kind of odd, right? Like, I sort of get it, but also I don't. Why am I tagged in here? I don't know why I'm added in the VC, but okay. This doesn't mean anything. Arabic. Yeah. No. That's not what this is. You misunderstand. And Arcane specifically wanted the fortune, luck, success, happiness one, which is fortune, success, luck. I mean, they're all kind of the same damn thing. What is, pray tell, what is this? Voice pharyngeal approximant or frictive is a type of consonantal sound. Consonantal. So this stands in here is a character. So his spelling is wrong. It is this. It has to have this in it for it to be a word. Is that right? Saeed? Wait, is it just Saeed? That's a given name, meaning blessed. This is a name meaning blessed. Okay. You're not screen sharing on Discord. Oh. Damn, Cabra. Okay, there you go. You're right. Good eye. Why did they not mention that anywhere else? Open chat. I was gonna send this in Twitch chat, but oh dear God, 2005, 2016 multinational because your chat follows only is a 10-minute wait. I thought of a funny thing. Cabra, have you looked in the voice channel general chat? Oh, I've been invited to join a server, E-Girl Paradise. Oh boy. Yo. Okay. Let me fuck with the stream settings. I forgot that I have the follower 10-minute thing on. Is that under moderation? Oh my god, I don't remember how to set the timer on the. Oh, no, there it is. Unban. No, that's unban. Twitch. Follow. Timer. Follow, time, chat. Where's this fucking setting? Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be nice if this were centralized? Put it all in one fucking spot. It wasn't on followers only, was it? Is it? You can disable it for temporarily, but I would like to set that to like 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes. That was a that was a Paradox Gamer deterrent. If I'm being honest, that was a I'm streaming Paradox titles and I don't want to deal with people deterrent. Publish pods, enable quips. I forget where the fuck this goes. Moderation, presumably, right? But automod, no. Block terms, no. Band info, band chatters. We could look at that sometime. Band hyperlinks, that's not even on. Non-mod chat delay, 2 seconds. Chat verification, no. Follower verification, no. Chat rules, no. Unban request, no. Follower only mode, no. Maybe this was on? Maybe I did have this on and you just got to it first, so by the time I loaded the page, I didn't see it. I think you got my ass, Cabra. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm seeing you change the setting on my end. That's fine. Very funny. Not one, but 2 invites. Hell yeah. SMH, mods not doing their jobs in this chat. Incredible. Okay, obligatory, statement. This is just a, Alex stream. This is just an Alexandrian Codex stream. This is not indicative of Dawn of Victory. This is not indicative of the project. I am not using the property or the title or the profit off of, etc., etc. Values, opinions, etc. expressed herein are just my own bad takes, not representative of the team as a whole. I don't have to say this every time, but it does feel like I should say it every time because you just fucking know somebody's gonna get bitchy and somebody's gonna be like, fucking leftist deep state taking over this mod project. Not a mod project, world building project. So this is not how you spell that word. I think this is how you spell this word. I mean, you don't. The Romanization is something that you don't need to do here. Non-pass. Verbal. That's a verb. This is a noun. So it is the noun form, so it would be this. So it would be this. How do I spell this specifically? You say Saeed. Yes, but if I put Saeed here, that ain't right. And if I put Saeed here, that ain't right. Then it's just the male given name. That's why I'm modding. You're the silly little streamer. I'll take it. Sex joke. I really didn't expect to hit a wall so quickly. I came in with such great energy and immediately ran into a, oh fuck, I don't know Arabic problem. I don't think this is right, but I don't know how to correct it. I know that it should be this, but I don't know how to Romanize this. If I Google this, this shows up meaning what I want it to mean. If we translate it literally into English, it's just gonna give, thank you. Is it S? But it's not this. It's not this, because if I look this... yeah, no. Essayed has a very different connotation, doesn't it? Yeah, can't really do that. Can't really do essayed. That's a bit of a problem, huh? Maybe it's Saeed. It isn't though. Cause this is that. I don't think Arcan's wrong here. I think that this is technically correct, but you would never spell it like this. You would always write it like this. But because we are using Romanized alphabets for our map, I mean, at least if I'm Googling, I'm mispronouncing this, because I don't know what a pharyngeal frictive sounds like, and I'm not looking it up. The symbol epiglottis and epiglotopharyngeals are often mistakenly taken to be pharyngeal. Yes, of course, naturally, I know what that means. I did not pay this much attention in college. Can I have an example, maybe? Can I have an example, maybe? Nope. Okay. Okay. I think like this, but Mark won't use that character, and so we'll get this, which isn't a thing. I'm guessing in advance that Mark's going to misspell it. Not intentionally. Mark just doesn't like using pronunciation marks on the map, and I get it, but also it does make life a little bit harder. And does make life a little more strange. Okay, neat idea. Neat idea, but Romanizing this gets messy as hell. Codex. Easy bongo. Praise poetry. Use glorify people. Neat. Very neat. Don't know that you'd name a star this. Yeah, no, wouldn't name a star after a genre of poetry, I think. Type of shield used as a status symbol and a symbol of Zulu culture. Is this what I think it is? Yeah. No, absolutely. This is a great idea. In the same way that, like, any shield names are pretty good for star names. They make sense at certain intersections, for certain roles, under certain conditions, but yeah, I can see that. I can see that. The light on in here? Yeah. So is it Ishlangu and not Naguni? Why is it called this? Oh, well, okay, this is the name of the shield. So it's called this in Zulu. And it's called this in Josha? Kosha? It's Kosha? It's a Ko sound? Kausha? X's fuck me up. And I have one in my name. So is this more iconically Zulu? That's how I associate it, but is that true? Ooh? Yeah, seems to check out. That's a good idea. Genesis? No, way too biblical. Haven. We really don't have Haven on here? Yeah, alright. Oberon. And Tatiana, or Titania. I'm not crazy about it. Am I in the wrong for just being like, we don't need more Shakespeare? Okay, I'll tease out the rationale here. It's not just because I'm a certified Shakespeare hater, which I'm kind of on the record of not liking Shakespeare, but more like we want diversity in the languages we're pulling from and the sources we're pulling from. We already have so many English words, so many Greek words. I think Oberon and Titania is an interesting idea, for sure. Like, there's some merit here. And I wouldn't want to imply otherwise, but... yeah, no, it can stay. It can stay. Yeah. No. Kupak, Great River. Named for the Mackenzie River. Sure. Does it mean anything else? Kukpak? I can't read. Literally Great River. Yep, no, I mean, every big river is really just called Big River, or Great River, or Long River, or whatever else, Large River. So the literal etymology of that's gonna be fine. Denali. Denali is the highest mountain in North America. It is an indigenous name. What does Denali mean, though? It means high or tall. Yeah, that's important. High / tall. Inspired, truly inspired. Kind of a whack name. Culture, history. Not climbing accidents. Prior to that, U.S. Mint. Wow, really just talking about You know your continent's fucking colonized when it's like, oh, this tallest mountain in North America? Let's talk about its history. It was referred to as Denali for centuries. Cool. Ah, Mount McKinley. Okay. What's the indigenous history of this place? Well, a British guy is the first European to have cited it. Cool. Alright. Okay, yep, no, fair enough. Denali checks out. Jelly. Dewey? Blood. Keeper of memories. Bard-like musician, storyteller, poet, and historian in West Africa. Wasn't how to be specific about the language family. Well, that's fair, because it's all fucked up. To be honest with you, Carbon, it's all fucked up. I'm not sure how to be accurate with the language system that I'm using, because it's not consistent. You are West African, yes. 1890, Senegalese. Okay, can I be gone with the mobile version? Oh, that's so much better. West African where, though? So this is just a title for a type of poet? A type of historian, storyteller, praise singer, poet, and or musician. Interesting, so this is like naming a system bard. Or skald. Huh. I don't hate it. I'll level with you, I don't hate it. I would maybe like specific bards? Like specific griots? This is something to look into later. Very cool idea. Probably won't use bards as skald either, but maybe specific ones? Codex. Chichen Itza. Yeah, it was a matter of time. At the mouth of the well of the Itza. Who would name it Chichen Itza, though, is where I'm at. Like, I like some, not a lot, some of these ancient names. But what's the story here? Why would you go and name a star Chichen Itza? Why would you go and name a star Giza, right? If the system had, like, ruins, that was our rationale in the Calypso Deeps for these systems in particular, and that's why there was a call out for these systems in particular for, well, not Manzikert, but these for old ruins, that was the vibe we were going for in the Calypso Deeps, and particularly this cluster had like a lot of alien ruins, so names relating to like abandoned cities and ancient discoveries and yada yada. And to be honest, I would kind of like to swap some of these out. Tikal has been accepted too. Yeah, I know. I'm still not crazy about them. So Chichen Itza is probably fine, and like Tikal, I don't really know when we'd use it. Because I don't foresee Mexico going hard in the direction of, yeah, let's use a lot of classical Maya and Aztec names. They would probably, the nation, right, the nation of Mexico, or the nation of Belize, though I have a hard time believing Belize would be independent, would name stuff after things of their national character, their cultural values, the things that they aspire to or desire, their hopes and dreams and the stars, the roots of civilization that they want to build. But going like Chichen Itza, I don't know, man. Like, maybe. It's not bad, I'm not gonna reject it, but I'm like, I don't know when we'll use them. probably if we have another ruinous site like this that we really want to emphasize that theme, but I'm gonna push back if we use this in a system proper. Born in Heaven, sacred site in Guatemala. Sure, Quiche. Mayan goddess of the moon, queen of the night. Sure. Now, actually, reopen this, move it over here. Give me this, give me this. Wakatoon. What's the other spelling you have on here? Why do you have this other spelling on here? Oh, okay. So, this doesn't mean Born of Heaven. Sian Khan. Cyan Khan? What language is this? Maya. Okay, nope, can't help you. That means Born of Heaven. The Wakatoon was made up by an archaeologist, Sylvanus Morley. Sylvanus Morley. What a fascinating name. I mean, gringo as hell, right? Yeah. but interesting name, Sylvanus. He coined the term from the Mayan words Waxuk and Tun to mean 8 stones. Okay. Alright, well, note of that. The actual Mayan name can stay, but the made-up gringo name cannot stay. Awilix was goddess, or possibly god of post-classic Quiche Maya, had a large kingdom, the highlands of Guatemala. Moon goddess, goddess of the night, some refer to deity as male. Okay. Fine, I guess. So I'm really not a huge fan of Sylvanus Morley WoW elf quest giver looking ass. Seriously. What? 100%. I'm not crazy at all about randomly using gods' names. Like, especially for Hinduism, it feels a little on the blasphemous side, but we've done it here quite a bit. And, you know, we did it here, and we did it here. We've done it again up here. So it's not a thing that we won't do, but it is a thing that I would rather have other ideas. And I know that when you're sitting down and looking at a new country, looking at a region, you're like, okay, what's their god of whatever? It's an easy first stop, right? But it definitely reads as a first stop and seems like, oh, okay, you're giving me these because there's a Wikipedia list on solar deities or Mayan deities or ancient Egyptian deities, and you're just going down like, fire, sun, forge, yep, that's a star, that's a star, that's a star, and I get it, but it reads that way. Alex, I don't know, man, this feels a bit blasphemous. Alex, also, where's the burn? Where's the burn? Is it because I've straight up mark counterpoint Vishnu? Yeah. Well, like I was saying, I think this is a product of the names that have been suggested and the names populating the bounty. That people, from an outside point of view, this is one of the easier, more accessible things to look at and go, okay, maybe I can pull from there. Like, getting more complicated, deep shit is not easy. And I don't want to characterize it as easy. It's exhausting and tedious. So I get it. So this is what we get. I just really hope that this isn't offensive. I mean, it feels like it's glorifying a deity to name a son after them. That feels like it's inoffensive. But if the content of these systems is not good, that could be, I don't know, man. Like, I'm overthinking it. I know I'm overthinking it, but let me overthink it. Tepu, nope. Specifically, I've started rejecting creator deities. I've started rejecting deities of underworlds or afterlives. I've started rejecting names for afterlives. Just trying to ease off of the potential there a little bit. It's still... fuck, my bad, dog. Might be. Wait, why the fuck are you still... Okay, there you are. Literal blood, Chichen Itza, this is fine. 13 creator gods, fine. Lords of Fire, fine, but... Again, like, are we gonna use it? Probably not, but it is cool. Goddess of Darkness and Violence, associated with other concepts such as hurricanes and obsidian. That's right. Oriel. I really don't like Oriel, but I started it. Vishnu ain't bad. No, it's not bad, but is it glorifying Vishnu? Like, let's be real. Not a lot of practicing Hindus in this server, right? I think people might take a slightly different attitude if we named a star, I don't know, Yahweh, right? Maybe a different kind of pushback if it were an independent star that wasn't important in any way, right? Imagine the ring if the Hindu god named systems were pirate shitholes and the Islamic sword was a rich populated system, or vice versa. Exactly. I'm scared as hell of what the specifics of these systems are. And also just like I said last time, this being a holy sword of Islam right next to a rough connection with a bunch of Hindu deities, it does read a certain way, right? It's fine. I'm overthinking it. Not everybody's gonna do that. Michigami. This is from Michigan. Gishigami. Would we want C, though? I don't know. Marcushiite plant. Those Central Canadians, man. Never can tell. I don't love that name. Great water, great sea. It's fine. It's fine. Ojibwe also is not Ojibwe. Sorry, Ojibwe is not the language that we're using here, right? Fuck. What did I call Ojibwe? Ojibwe is... You are Algonquin. That's it. It's like a really bad comedian, Algonquin. That's terrible. Look. Brain rot do be like that sometimes. Sahaptin, name for the Columbia River. What does it mean, though? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Nishiwana, or Nishiwana. Why'd we go with, Sahaptin? Oh, it's 8 o'clock, Alex, take your drugs. Yeah, fine. Tried finding names that originate from a single language for the Great Lakes, but I couldn't. No, you can't. That's not on you. That's just an impossible challenge. So the music, a level with you? Not me. This song, I recognized yesterday, too. Or day before, whenever. Love this song. I swear this is used in a video game. I just have Lo-Fi Girl on in the background. Should I be streaming it? Technically no, but I'm doing it anyway. I'll take the compliment. I'm just giving credit where credit's due. You were Penutian. Fascinating. Can I see a heat map for where this is? Who speaks this? Yeah, this is along with Nez Perce. Fascinating. Yakima Tribal Cultural Resources Program has been promoting the use of this language, instead of Salish turned to Hopton. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Because it's the Columbia River. I live here. I live here. right here. So I'm aware of what the Columbia River is, but this language I was not aware of. So that means the language is somewhere in here, right? Is this right? Columbia Plateau, region of... Where is the Columbia Plateau? Am I high? Is this Yakima? Is this what Yakima speak? Yo, it totally is. Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. I did not know the name of the Yakima language. So yeah, it's here. Fascinating. Should I use their name for it though? So the reason I asked, because we're gonna upset somebody, regardless of what we choose here, that this is a really important language, or river down here. It's really important up here as well. Yeah, interesting. Because Upper Chinook cultures, can you just give me a map? Really densely populated in this small area. Really densely populated. God, I don't have a population map right now, but I used to. Well, I do. But I don't want to dig up the population map, the indigenous population heat map for like the early 20th century that I have. It's somewhere. But in the Columbia River Valley, a lot of people here. A reasonable amount of people throughout here. Fewer people out here, but it's all pretty densely populated. Then just like a shit ton of people in here and up here. Just an absurd amount of people out here in Vancouver Island. Not a lot in the Olympian Peninsula. Some in here. Only along the coast, really. And then we have like some really notable, especially around the Snake River, have some very notable indigenous groups in here too. My point is, I don't want to play favorites. Okay. Ad break? Look, you're not missing anything. I have to dissolve this under my tongue. I'm not going to be talking for a few minutes. I'm just going to be going, But that checks out. Yeah, good enough. Mighty Mo. Mighty Mo. Always more homework. There's people But can I get a fucking definition? Huh. Okay. Okay. Alright, yep. You're not wrong. That is what that is. In canon, is Pacifican a term that PSA citizens call themselves? I don't know. It's what I use. Honestly, probably not. They probably refer to themselves as Washingtonians or Oregonians or Californians or whatever. So, okay, more accurate to call this a spirit than a god, or a type of spirit than a god. So the direct association with pregnancy, motherhood, and marriage makes me go, not so much. For star name, we have the three sisters, the three Greek fates walked away, and I think Marcus talked about this for a specific location that they'll be in on the map, but they're more broad fate deities. The reason I'm rejecting this is those fates are too specific to marriage, motherhood, or pregnancy. It's not overall fate, it's not overall life, it's not overall whatever. I don't know. I imagine that Pacificans is an easy catch-all, but it does sound a little weird, right? In the same way that Americans does. We're not that big on statehood out here. Like, people aren't as proud of being from California as they are from being from the Bay Area or LA or San Diego, but nobody's really proud of being from San Diego. And the same thing kind of goes for Washington and Oregon as well. We're much more proud of... I am adamantly proud of being living in Seattle these last 8 years. I fucking love this city. But if you associate me with Tacoma or Yakima, fuck you, right? I think in that way, the idea of a Pacifican nationality or national identity is definitely something that's going to be fun to develop and work on and talk about as you know, Mark and the rest of the actual, you know, writing team think on that and pick some direction to go in with that. I'm a Seattle diehard, through and through. I love this fucking city. In the same way that, like, a New Yorker from, like, NYC is like, I'm a fucking New Yorker. But you go up to, you know, upstate New York, and I mean upstate New York, like Rochester. Those aren't the same people anymore. They have a completely different sense of what it means to be a New Yorker. God is my flame, Oriel. Yeah, Oriel already got the pass. You got the pass. You got the pass. You got the pass. Yeah. So, okay, the Songhai Empire, I was looking at this too. And what I decided yesterday to do was bookmark it and then not think about it for now. Because I would like to not use city names. I know it's the capital, and I know as the capital... Ooh, capital significant, right? But capital boring. Capital very boring. This shit in here, this sucks. This sucks that we have done this in Grand Columbia. We've done this because it's a federation of different nations and trying to come up with names that are evocative of each nation in a way as succinct as the name of their capital that doesn't use their name as a country is very, very, very hard to do. But generally, I mean, even here in Italy, even with strong Italian city culture and regional culture, we actively made the decision, no, we'll have like breakaway systems named after cities. I mean, Ostia isn't really a city, but it's, you know, whatever. To kind of symbolize that division. But generally, city names are not good system names. Sometimes though, they are. And when they are, they're really good. But the rest of the time, I'm not crazy about them because why name it after, you know, why go with New York or New York City when we can go really specific to like Queens or fucking Times Square, I guess. Though Times Square isn't really culturally endemic of an idea, right? There's a good name has depth and substance to it and isn't just that's the capital, right? It's that was a major trade center or like the last stop on this trade route or a oasis, a literal oasis in a desert, or something that conveys movement and travel and has an association therein which would make it a desirable name for a star. But, you know, a star being named Washington, D.C. doesn't tell you anything about the values beyond that they're kind of uninventive nationalists, right? The British naming a system London or New London, okay, yeah, I mean, kind of just perfunctory at that point. You're just naming shit very lazily without trying to be poetic about it. And that poeticism is really, really key to making cool names instead of just like fine names. Because like, Harvest is, honestly, it's cliche, but Harvest has this kind of je ne sais quoi about it because it's not a literal name that would make sense. It's a metaphor. It implies that the planet is rich, that it's prosperous, that it's habitable, that if you go there, you're gonna have food, that you're not gonna go hungry, that if you settle there, it's gonna be good. A name like Harvest, like a name like Greenland, is kind of propaganda. It's messaging, right? It's marketing. So the name of a system is also marketing. If it's the name of the system is a protector deity, you know, it's being implied that you'll be safe there. But if the name of a system is just the capital, okay, really good for patriots, I guess, but for everybody else, a little less so. Yep. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't want to reject Gao outright. I'm not crazy about it. So, okay, a way you can win me back with the city name if you're really wanting to do so is to have it be a city whose name means something really fucking cool. However, as is often the case, especially with West African names, the fucking etymology of these articles is non-existent. I would go with Gao. Is it historically called Gao, or is it more historically called Gao or Kako? Gao. History. Part of the Niger River Indigenous Cultural Complex. You spelled it cacao. I think Gao is fine. Right? But as a capital, it was the capital of Songhai. It's not a capital in Mali, right? It's a city in Mali, but not the capital of Mali. It's the capital of the Gao region. Maybe. Okay, again, words like the unnecessary. We really want to keep these as short as possible so we can fit as much in here as possible. And I know there are these all over here. I hate it every time. I'm just not correcting all of them. Capital of Songhai, Empire, largest state in Africa, history at its peak. Sure, that's not really interesting as a star name, though. What is interesting is its role in the trans-Saharan trade. This, again, good name qualities. Evocative and provocative, evoking feelings, ideas, concepts, vibes, symbols, feelings of movement, of trade, of connectivity, of distance, of travel, right? Referencing trade centers. This kind of moving from place to place, especially over hostile terrain or through deserts or through trying circumstances, that fits the story of diaspora that we're going for, right? Especially travel and movement. So trade ports, especially along famous routes, or especially those which are really, really essential, do not start posting just random port cities. They will get rejected. But like significant ones like Gao, yeah, there's something there. Wonder if there's some group of PSA politicians and leaders trying to develop as historically many nationalities were constructed. I mean, maybe. They've got 2 centuries to do it. That's plenty of time to do it. Look at the United States. But the United States, like, American national identity was something that really evolved after and came to a head after the Civil War. As we move more and more away from, regional state identities to a larger national federal identity. And even still, we have some pretty strong state identities. I don't know that the PSA would have a similar movement, but I also don't know that we really care that much on the West Coast as is, or even back in the 30s, about whether you're from California or Oregon or whatever. Just so long as you're not one of those East Coast or Midwesterners. For reference, I'm from the Midwest. I was born in Kentucky. I'm arguably from the South. I think we just call this Gao. I know it was written Cao Cao historically, but as of 1930, why the hell do we jump from 1500 to the 21st century? Dude, what is with West African Wikipedia on English articles for West African things on Wikipedia are the most wild things. Like, oh yeah, history, skipping all these centuries of colonization and imperialism, and then bam, just 2012 out of nowhere. Yeah, okay, no, yep. Nothing to read into there. Aspera. Now, this is an interesting idea. I read this earlier and I'm like, huh. So there's a lot of names for Bulgaria, for Hungary, for Romania that you can pull out of the high Middle Ages, right? This is like 12 something, 11 something when this... Oh no, this is early Middle Ages. Okay. The national character of the Bulgarian-Romanian Union, or whatever the hell it's called, Federation, but I don't have these memorized. It's not my job to have them memorized. Bulgar Union. Oh yeah, okay. Truly inspired. And competes with Bulgarian and Romanian SSRs for recognition as legitimate successor governments. Okay, for fascist Bulgaria, yes. For fascist Bulgaria, this is great. For a socialist Bulgaria, this is terrible. The fascists love this kind of original empire stuff. The Midwest is not cool. I grew up in Indiana. I have lived in and around the Midwest. You can't lie to me. It's horrible. It's hot during the summer. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. It's all fucking corn and soybeans. Or if you go up to Chicago, you can have a really great time. And then you leave Chicago and you leave civilization, and then you're back to a bunch of conservative or, you know, moderate ass communities that are kind of hateful, kind of xenophobic. Nope, no, Yeah, the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota, in parts of Michigan are fine, but if you look at the alcohol abuse rates up there, it's again indicative of rural life sucks. I love having a sense of community. I love being able to go to museums, go to plays, and go to concerts, and go explore different cultures and be interacting with, you know, people who speak different languages. One of the happiest memories I had living in Seattle when I lived down in the International District is when I took a bus to work in the morning, I would listen to conversations in like 4 or 5 different languages, and it made me feel so safe. Meanwhile, road tripping across the Midwest, I would go days without seeing anyone who wasn't white, and that was the scariest fucking shit. It is truly unnerving when you go out through town after town after town after town of just honkies. Just a lot of honkies. Like, this ain't right. This ain't right at all. Ship names, no. Though it is cool, we are not using boat names for stars. Katahoyuk, I actually recommended for the Calypso Deeps, but we didn't go with it. I don't know if we'll find a better place for it, but I love Katahoyuk, so it stays. She-Wolf and Mother of Turkic Peoples. Can we call this Turkic instead of Turkish? I can call this Turkic, yeah. So it's very important that I can call this Turkic and not Turkish, because Turkic and Turkish I have listed differently. Twin Cities are a great place. They're okay. They're okay. Good representative. Good representative from the Twin Cities. Fucking love. Oh, God. Motherfucker. I love her. Cities rep. Omar. Oh my God. Yeah. Ilhan. Ilhan Omar. Love her. She's great. Yeah. Her daughter is a fucking firecracker too. That kid roasts her mom relentlessly. It's good shit. Yeah, that Twin City. I mean, look. Some communities, not a lot, some communities in the Midwest are trying their damnedest to organize and actually create meaningful sense of community and push back against the pretty reactionary cultural atmosphere of the Midwest, but not a lot of it. They are the exception. Open lesbian, which I think is cool as well. It depends on her policies. We had a mayor here in Seattle who was a real piece of shit, who was a open lesbian. That did not make Mayor Jenny's policies suck any less. She was a real fucking piece of work. And I'm glad that she's gone. Though Bruce Harrell also sucks. Bruce Harrell, probably worse. Probably worse. I don't even really love my city rep here. We had some great reps, but then after 2020 and all the reactionary bullshit news about Seattle's on fire, oh no, Seattle's dying, a bunch of reactionary moderates got spooked into voting in ineffectual centrist candidates that are pushing the same policies they've been pushing for the last 30 years that are just worsening our homelessness situation and making housing prices continue to go up and not actually meaningfully improving development and yada yada yada. We have no, I don't need to go off, but the lady who owns Fremont Brewing Company, she can go to hell. She can go directly to hell. What if we deal with homelessness by putting them all in a special-made homeless prison? That's not dystopic at all. House them. No. A special prison. Crazy bitch. Has. Portion. Lot. Something good. Good portion. Fortunate. See, we don't have Rule 6 here. These are Alex's real takes on politics, and we get some very, very polite. Oh my God, it's actually, hell yeah, dude, this one checks out. On the Discord, we get Alex being polite or sassy. On here, what do you mean prison's not real housing? Yeah, I know. Americans. the American prison industrial complex sweating. What do you mean we can't just take all of our people who are in crisis and throw them into prison and treat them inhumanely and expect them to get better? Was it problematic that we have the largest in-prison population relative to our population size? I think even irregardless of our population size. Prison population by country. We're number 1. Oh yeah, no, it's huge. But that's incarceration rates. That's okay, counts. Yeah, we're still number 1. Rates per 100,000? A mere 531. Pretty fucking bad. We have more people in prison than China does, which is truly an accomplishment. When they have a population that large and we're still number 1, we're doing our best. Ukrainian engineer, mathematician known for works in astronomics and aeroflight. Yes. Maybe. Okay, I don't love having systems named after people who aren't Nobel Prize winners is basically where I'm at with the scientists. I cut the Wright brothers last night. It wasn't on stream, but if we I cut the Wright brothers. Okay? That's the that's the line I'm drawing. So if I'm cutting the Wright brothers, I'm probably cutting quite a bit more. When it comes to the scientist names. Oh, and immediately the next one is early flying machines. I hate to do this, but I am gonna cut that one. There's just so many aeronauts we could have in here, and with human beings, again, avoid individuals. Very, very rare, never living individuals, though that's not really the case. Only iconic, heroic, or larger than life. And I mean truly iconic. I mean, like, very, very iconic, very heroic, very larger than life. Like, they are taught in history classes about that nation. Now, we're probably going to get more lenient on individuals over time, but especially early on, we're going to be strict about that. Did somebody submit the Wright brothers after you said this is like the Brazilian Wright brothers for a Brazilian name? No. No. I dragged it over from one of the old maps because I saw that coming, and I'm like, no, I'm done with this. We're not doing this. I'm going to cut this off and submit it myself so nobody else does. And then after doing that, I'm like, I don't want this at all. Yeah, no, totally. I don't mean that they literally have to have a Nobel Prize. I mean that they need to have put in a body of work the equivalency of people who have a Nobel Prize. I mean, like, physicists, astrophysicists, or classical physicists who have laws of physics named after them. Newton? Yeah, Newton can get a fucking system. Einstein? Maybe Einstein can get a system. I'm iffy on Einstein. All right? Like, that's the line. I'm being very strict when it comes to people. So it's not the personnel, and nothing personnel, kid. That checks out. Maybe spaceflight. Yuri, what do you do specifically pre-World War II? Wind power? Hell yeah. Well, you were a red. Love to see it. I don't know what our attitude will be because, so to be clear, we have no communist systems on the map. There are no Soviet names on the map anywhere. There are no leftist systems. There are no leftist powers. We got a split up imperialist state that like half of it is now communist, but they didn't name this systems after the fact, right? Down here, nope. Oh, how about nope? Here, nope. Nothing in here. So the naming scheme and the rationale for what is an appropriate name scheme is something that we have not talked specifically about. And that's important because I don't think that we will be naming systems after individuals, especially in Soviet or Comintern or Commenterstellar systems. Currently, to get kind of a hint at what Mark has in mind, we have some like... We have Zoria, Dola, Perun, Dashvok, Vilish down here, which are just shared Slavic deities on our way to the Soviet space out here, but also they're up on the way to the Virai expanse up here, where we have the Meteor Morsi? The Between Three Seas compact up here, So this isn't necessarily indicative of what to expect the Soviet names to be like. It's just changing the flavor as we move in that direction. Hence why I'm like, probably not. Novak. God damn it. Alright, you say Novak, and I think Novak, and I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do Novak. Let's... Patrolling the Mojave, etc., etc. But that's not what this Novak is. Which is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Legacy. Yeah, I have some streets named after him. And a neighborhood. Would they name a star after you? You're venerated as a hero in Serbian epic poetry. Okay, you were a Hajduk at an early age in Persian, beaten by Turks, losing all his teeth, hence the name Old Novak. Novak meaning what? Just Old Novak because he didn't have any teeth? Okay, weird. Led him to leave his birthplace, take refuge in a forest, soon formed his own band and started a fight against the Ottomans. Yep. So, who has the Serbian? I don't think we've talked about Yugoslavia or the lack thereof, right? Yeah, I have no idea. Until we know the state of Yugoslavia, gonna put a pause on that one. And Serbian is South Slavic, Ukrainian. Goodbye. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that off the top of my head, which is why I was like, between 3 C's compact. I got halfway through the word, I'm like, this ain't right, and bailed. Yeah, again, socialist leader who I don't know. I don't know that this is a good time to be offering specific... Yeah, actually, I'm quite sure that these are bad names for an independent system. Because it's too important to a national culture, if that makes sense. These are not bad names for stars. These are bad names for... Nope, we're going to snooze that ad. These are bad names for independent stars because they're too important, if that distinction makes sense. So I don't want to cut these because, again, they're not bad, but they're too specific to be used loosely and freely. These kind of have to be owned by Bulgaria or Serbia or whoever the hell has Serbians or wherever else. Even Mansa, hold on, I wanted to cut this. Mansa, I do not like. I'm sorry. It's like naming a system king. That's weird. Novak, maybe. Not great for independent, though. Codex, not great for independent, not great for independent. First Social Democratic Party. Oh, that's the name of a party? Founder of the first party. Okay, yeah, I can't read. So, okay, fun check to do on people. Let's do this together. Novak, I think, will have success. Google the name that you were suggesting. And if I Google Novak, Novak is not a good name. Because if Novak doesn't show up in, like, the first 10 results, this is not actually in the popular lexicon or in the popular zeitgeist. So on a map, if the name Novak is on there, our audience is more likely to read it as a reference to this tennis player than it is a reference to this revolutionary. That sucks, right? That sucks. That sucks a lot. I know, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but it sucks. I have had to take a lot of artists and politicians and other people I thought were really good ideas and had to cut them for that. Yes, Google results change on location, but the vast majority of our audience are American or European. So that's the basis I'm going off of. It's a meta thing. It's not an in-universe thing. It's a how readable is this document kind of thing. So I don't know if it's bad. Can we do old Novak? Because if we did old Novak... Bro, you gotta be fucking kidding me. No, okay. Wow. This Serbian tennis player is real popular. Alright. Starina. What about his first name? Well, nothing shows up for his first name except some villages, so hey, maybe something to work with there. What is it in Serbian? Yeah, it means old Novak, but how do I spell this? Yes. Translate this page for me, pretty please. So I can steal how you Romanize this. Serena Novak. Baba Novak. It's just Baba Novak? Baba means old, right? Baba. Baba Novak. Baba Novak is the way we get him. See, I'm not rejecting it. I'm just saying we need it to be. we need that to come up. So Baba Novak. That checks out. Is it a C or a K? It's probably a K. It is spelled with a K. Novak is too much of a yippee, there'll be no wedding bells for today kind of name. Okay, Novak, you good. Dimitrovgrad? That is a town. That is a town. His last name is just where he was born? Oh, no. You threw on grad at the end. Why did you throw on grad at the end? Because that would make it more appropriate for a location rather than a person. Yeah, but we're not doing that for... We're not making it like Washingtonville, right? Yeah, Baba's usually grandparent, grandmother. Yeah. Which I don't think is exactly what we want for Novak, but if it passes the Google test, it passes the Google test. I'm out of delays for the ads, so in about 50 seconds, you enjoy these fantastic ads I cannot stop. Yeah, this does suck. This does suck. Georgie boy. Bulgarian communist politician. But you served in the general secretary from 1935. Well, what'd you do prior to, what'd you do in 33, brother? What'd you do prior to 33? You lived in the Soviet Union, 1929, when he was ousted from his leadership role by a faction of younger, more left-wing activists. And then relocated to Germany, appointed Secretary General of the World Committee Against War and Fascism. Nice committee to be a part of. He was in Berlin when the Nazis came to power, arrested. Leipzig trial. How did you get to... When he arrived in Moscow, encouraged by Stalin to end the practice of denouncing social democrats as social fascists. Hold on, this guy's based. Practically indistinguishable from actual fascists. And to promote united front tactics against fascism. Come on, Stalin. Come on, let him cook. Let him cook. In April, as his fame grew in the wake of the Leipzig trial, was appointed to executive of Comintern and the political secretariat in charge of Anglo-American and Central European sections. Okay, he was being positioned to take control of the Comintern from the Bolsheviks Josef Piatnitsky and Wilhelm Knorin. having controlled it since 23. Dimitrov, chosen by Stalin to be head of Comintern in 34. I is a significant guy, which is very unfortunate that he has such a generic-ass name. Georgie, yeah? This won't... Yeah, Georgie boy, not gonna do it. Dimitrov, not gonna do it. Gonna give me a... Wow, another tennis player. Interesting. Did you have a... Nomdeguer? Mikhailovich? This won't... Yeah, okay, didn't think so. Yeah, no. I got why the grad's there. Don't do that. It's a neat idea, but... And I know why you did it here, but let's try to avoid doing that. Because if we're gonna add grad at the end, let us do it. Otherwise, verifying names, I can tell, right, that grad... Oh, okay, you just added this to the end. But I'm not the only one who checks these, and other people might not pick up on that and might just search the name and be like, this doesn't mean anything. It's not a bad idea. Really depends on the Comintern name scheme. Again, same thing. I cannot, I'm not gonna say no to these, but look, it might seem diminutive that I'm putting South Slavic, but we have got to keep the number of languages down to a minimum so that we can actually filter through them more easily. The fewer there are, the more manageable it is. The more that we have, bigger problem. Oh, premarital handholder. Oh, that was yours! Oh, that's why it was good. I'm like, huh, that Arabic name's pretty good. That's a Cabra name right there. Yeah, I'm simping. No, I'm not sorry. Inuit. Oh, God, is that the word we're using for your language group? For your lingual group? I think it might be. Really? Man, that sucks. That sucks. Really? Hate that. Escalute? Bro. Really not changing this name, huh? Alright, yep, no, okay. Wow, Escalute kind of is a broad area. Maybe I want to keep it... Okay, which... Maybe Inuit? Maybe Inuit actually is the top division we should go for here. But even this is... Nah, fuck it, Escalute. Make it Escalute. Fuck it, if Greenland is already in there, it's... Escalute. Escalute? UTE? I can't spell. It's UTE. EUT. It's not UTE. It's EUT. Yep. This is my bad. I'm fixing it. Inuit. This is just me realizing Inuit's not what I should be calling this. Escalute. Inuit. Etc. Escalation. You go up to the E's, buddy. E, Esco, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, Esperanto. Yep, no, and we're not getting any fucking Esperanto names. I think Mark dislikes them on like a personal level. Sort range, column, B. I saw an English one in here. I want to take a second. Haven. I guess, but... Maybe. Greek. Can I cut Oberon and Titania? Right, I probably can't. Like, A Midsummer's Night Dream isn't really about similar themes, unless I'm really misremembering this. Yeah, no, nah. Take the L, Shakespeare, take the L. I wanted to deny Shakespeare is a system name, so it's really speaking to my attitude here. You added it while I was suffering under the luck name. I figured as much. Mande? Or did I go Niger Congo on this? I think Mande is the top. Nope. Fuck me. What did I do here? Indian? Yeah. Okay, Africa. What did I do for this language group? Arabic? Yep. No. Bantu? It's not Bantu, brother. Not Berber. It's not Chadic. It's not Dravidian. Why did that show up? Not Egyptian. Not Ethiopian. Not Kwa. Not Songhay. Not Swahili. Do I really not have this yet? Wait, Volta. It's probably not Volta Niger. Volta Niger is not it. That's this. Mande's fine, right? Niger Congo is way too big of an area, right? Niger Congo's all of this. This is the most useless denomination. Yeah, Mande is what I'm going with. Great guess there, Carbon. I wouldn't know what to call that either. Kokuyun, Tenawe Kokuyun. Let's learn about that language group. Are you... I mean, you're Athabascan, right? Right? Yeah, no kidding. Northern Athabascan, right? Athabascan. I only have Southern Athabascan. Yeah, that checks out. That checks out. Northern Athabascan? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to go with for this one either. Sahipashan, but that's really just that, and Penutian. Penutian is... but Penutian's such a fucking... Yeah, it's Penutian. It's Penutian. It's Penutian. It doesn't feel right, but it is Penutian. Penutian's way too vague. Alex loves to hate Anglo and Irish names. We have too damn many of them. Should never let him do a 23andMe. Will some independent names be given to non-independent systems if they fit better elsewhere? If I remember, yes. But that's if I remember. And that really comes down to when the bounty opens, if I remember to look for them, 1. And normally I'm really busy when a new bounty opens. If I can find it, number 2. That's really important. And if those 2, then yes, I'll move it over. I'll copy it over. And then if that bounty locks, I'll move the good ones back to independent. Like, with... What the fuck am I talking about? Vega? No, Dewega? Yes! Yeah. Like, for this one, I moved over some names that I thought were a good fit. Then I grabbed the ones that I thought were still a good fit and moved them back over. I should drag these, actually, so we don't get more repeats. And I think I did the same thing with the Italian bounty as well. I'll drag things back and forth if I remember them. But you should have things backed up on your own and don't trust that, don't leave it up to me, because I may let you down. I'm not promising that I can always stay on top of that, because I've thousands of names I'm shepherding and trying to be responsible for, and I'm gonna fuck up sometimes. This is, Algonquin? Algonquian, right? Iroquoian. Fuck. Dumbass thinking they're Algonquian. Big difference. So to be fair, they're not that far apart from each other. I was thinking Great Lakes, so I'm like, oh yeah, it's Algonquian. No, Algonquian and Iroquoian are noticeably... Notice the lack of an overlap here? Notice the distinct lack of an overlap? Yeah, there are reasons for that. Silly Billy, Iroquois... Iroquois? It shouldn't be Iroquois. Yeah, it should be Iroquoian. Who the fuck wrote Iroquois? Right here. You Gucci. I understand the confusion. I'm not mad. I am not upset. The fucking let's try that again. Categorization that I use. Can people resubmit them in that case? Not on the same bounty. You can submit it to a new bounty. Yes, I cannot stop you. I would prefer... Here's the secret sauce. All the rejects are actually at the bottom of this sheet now. They're not gone. They just don't have their own sheets. You can try again, but like some of these specifically say... No, undo that, motherfucker. Hold on, there we go. Some of these specifically say too specific for an independent system or something to that effect. Those are really good candidates to add back in. But some of these have been rejected for other reasons. And again, it's just way too time consuming for me to go in and write in a note for all, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. You know, 1,200, 1,300 names, however many we have down here and across all the other sheets. It's just way too time consuming for me to go in and do. I don't want to be a dick and just not give any explanation, but sometimes I'm gonna have to leave it on a dial tone, and that sucks, and I'm sorry, but it's just a time allocation thing. Exclude Algonquin, Iroquois, Mayan, Mandan, the L is silent when I keep reading it. The Penutian, Sulian, South Slavic, Turkish, Vietnamese. Vietnamese is not a name that we use, though. Is it? Vietnamese is packaged into Vietic, I think, right? Austroasiatic. Yeah, no, it's all packaged into Austroasiatic. So let's tap that. Trong Truk, Vietnamese naval armor, 1861, inflicted humiliating defeat. So, no. Same reason that I rejected the Argentinian Navy one. Nah, not iconic enough. Unless you have, like, cities named after you, probably not. Honored as a major god. Sir Nguyen? Yep. Yep. Nowadays, establishment worshipping as a main god built in 6 provinces in the Mekong Delta. You know, maybe, but, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm wrong about this. He shows up way better as a Vietnamese name. Again, not as an independent system name. Like, adamantly, this one specifically not an independent system name. Unless we have another, like, New Canaan pirate region, and the themes are, like, Southeast Asian, but not piratical, but, like, anti-colonial. Not impossible. Not impossible. Just, he feels too specific. In the same way that, and Cabra knows the pain here of me rejecting the, oh, I forget their name. Well, the Irish Argentine commander the other day, but no, not you, not you, not you, not you, not you. Yeah, I was thinking, Martin Miguel de Guillemis? Argentine general who defended the Northwest from the Spanish during the... Oh, no, that one's wrong. That's not the one I was thinking of. Hold on. This one. Frame machine kill? Frame machine... Frame machine hiccup. Frame machine hiccup a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. 6 disconnects today. Terrible. Terrible. Downtime of 14 seconds. I'm going to write an angry letter. Point being, a lot of generals, a lot of admirals, a lot of battles get rejected. It is not specific to any nation or any individual submitter. I just generally don't love them unless it's very intentional. Okay, Turkish and Turkic are different here. Good, they should be. Turkic. Bam. The more names we get submitted, and I thought about writing this earlier and I didn't because it's a dirty secret and it will discourage people from submitting more, so take this in stride. What I want from you, let's be very clear, I want people to keep submitting as many names as they feel comfortable. I want people to keep feeling motivated and inspired and creative and shooting their fucking shot, right? However, the more names I get, the pickier I'm going to be. It's a catch-22, right? Like, well, I don't want Alex to be a dick, but so I'm gonna, phone it in or whatever. I get the motivation there. I really encourage you to continue to do submissions and add a lot to it because Western United States, Western North America. Because it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm able to be more and more picky. It means that we have enough that we can cut more away, that we're not really desperate for more names. If we're just using whatever we have, that's a bad thing. If we don't have enough names, we get things like what happened to Mark during the session when he was painting the Elysian Fields and kept on coming up with a lot of really shitty Latin names. Like a lot of really shitty Latin names. And because we just didn't have a body of work to pull from at that point, it was just like, well, okay, this is good enough from now. And I had to bust my ass coming up with other stuff to fill in the gap. And I can do that. That's part of what I'm here for, but it's much better if people just keep giving us stuff because that makes life so much easier. Okay, so Nordic is here. Northern Udo-Aztecan is here. Northern Athabascan can be here. Sure. technically this should go above the German, but I'm gonna forget, and then I'm gonna get confused when it's not there. And I'm gonna get upset. Northern Athabascan, do I need to... I'm just gonna... Northwest, North America. Yeah, sure. Explorers? Very strict. I feel very strict about them. If they committed even a single act of slavery or genocide, I don't want them on this fucking map. That's including Magellan, who gets a whole fucking subcluster named after him. He gets on the map because he died for it. He can be on here as a symbol of colonialism bad, actually, but generally explorers I'm putting such a strict requirement for. That's why we have Magellan and a bunch of captains who died during his voyage in here as a, yeah, you know, they're explorers, but also kind of fuck these guys. And more specifically, with the Magellan subcluster, the narrative here is that it's a difficult area, it's a hard voyage, that a lot of people died or were lost along the way, so it's a good metaphor, right? But, like, if we're going with explorers, we're gonna get a lot of English, Spanish, and Portuguese and French words out there on the map, and we want to cast a wider net than that. Even with, up here, I have suggested in the Italian bounty, I think it's in here. Or it's in the back channel, and don't worry about it. We don't need to worry about me talking about this. Some of the... No, I moved them from this bounty, didn't I? I did. Okay. Well, they're around. Some explorers who make sense in the context of Italy and South America, or Italy and the idea of Acadia or Arcadia would fit in here a little bit. So, again, if you're intentional about it, if you're picking them because they really fit a theme, they really fit an idea, you really want to convey something metaphorical with them, then they're a great idea. But broadly, really, I don't want to glorify pieces of shit that are responsible for tragedy. I don't want to further immortalize pretty unremarkable white guys in the stars, just like we have on Earth. I don't want to whitewash the map with easy, convenient European names if we can get better, more complex, more diverse, more inclusive names, right? It's a hard ask, and I really feel like an asshole being like, no, like repeatedly hitting the notes of like, we can do better. I'm not coming at this from a negative like, that's dumb or that sucks. I'm coming at this from a, we can make art here. We can make something really good here. Look at the fucking beautiful artwork that Tim Burton is slaving away over a hot pad, over a hot graphics card, all day, with no gratitude. If he can give us this kind of artwork and fucking transcendent beauty for us to write over, we owe it to the process to come up with the best damn poetry, the most artistic expressions of the ideas of exodus, of travel, of survival, of being a species in diaspora, walked in ideological struggle, simultaneously trying to name stars ideologically, hopefully, but also brokenheartedly and despondently, and out of a feeling of an awareness of the profundity of what has been lost, the profundity, I guess, of what has been lost, right? We have such great themes and aspirations that we can explore here, and that is why I'm such an asshole and so strict with no, that's dumb, that's dumb, that's dumb, that's dumb, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, is I want us to do something. I want this to be, I think as Mark called it, the best damn space map of all time, right? The best fucking space map anyone has ever made. That's the goal. With that said, I don't understand Whitaker. I don't understand some of the choices we've made. We will at times misstep. We will at times get lazy. We will at times use placeholders like we did for Pakistan while we do deeper dives. And we're gonna do some weird things, like naming things after Ostia or having some grammatical variances in like the Asakra versus Appia. It's not gonna be perfect, but it can always be better. And trying to continue to make it better and continue to improve it is, I think, the least we owe to you all. The least we owe to each other as artists, and the least we owe to the peoples of the places that we're trying to represent. So, no fun allowed. No fun allowed. Everything's gotta be serious all the time. We can't have fun here. Right? That's, fuck, where did I leave off? I abandoned a bunch of names. There we go. That's, if I am... Arcan, you added some... Nahuatl. No, it's Nahuatl. Okay, I had to double check this, make sure I was right. Yeah, I really don't want to be mean to people often, but on the Discord particularly, sometimes people jump really quickly into cliche and are way too quick to joke about shit that they should not be joking about. L comes before N, right? Yeah, okay, Mande should be down here. Particularly, I get pretty angry pretty quickly when people are doing dipshit jokes about, like, genocide or, like, is this people still around? Oh, well, they weren't contacted, so, like, LOL, they're probably dead. That shit makes me see red so quickly. West Africa. I am very, very self-censored on our Discord. I'm a much more argumentative, much more confrontational person than I let on. And I pick a lot of fights on the Discord. It's like a third or a fourth of the ones I would be picking if I weren't trying to be at least an okay staff member. I find it so funny when people are mad about me being a, socialist deep state, sassy. It's unbecoming. It's unbecoming, really. Can't have sass. I really do love the I want to speak to your manager energy that some people bring to the Discord. And like, how dare you laugh react at my very unserious takes? How dare you mock me in this internet? This place where my exchange of ideas is supposed to be tolerated and my bad takes are supposed to be listened to by strangers. Socialist deep state is go. I think some people are making some assumptions about the political leanings of the people making up the staff that maybe they shouldn't make. Just because I'm the squeaky wheel doesn't mean I'm the only wheel. It do means I be squeaking though. Did they... SMH mods still haven't gotten rid of those invitations? Am I gonna have to tag Shirley or Nami in here? They're both asleep right now, aren't they? It's fine. No one looks at this chat anyway. Just let it go. Just let it go. Oh, one thing As a member of the deep state, I can say we confidently have no socialists here. I mean, okay. Patience is a virtue. Definitely have a hard time with it, but it's definitely a virtue. Yeah, don't start bitching about, it's Monday, where's the new video? That's a lot of text I'm not reading. Just some memings. Okay, Q&A. What happened to the west and also the Compass Road? That's a question I don't want to get into. Yep. Oh no, people are actually commenting in the, so there's now a fictional fiction system within the document. Don't do it. Don't do it. So specifically, the fictional setting is because Mark asked several streams ago for more StarCraft references. References and Easter eggs will make up maybe 0.5% to 1% of the star names that we use. Maybe. Okay. Then Boopy just memeing. Okay, alright. Yeah. Okay, am I missing anything else here? No. Delightful. Yeah, no. Twitch is really fucking irritating with the ads these days. I can't help you. I have them so that they should only be at the beginning and end of a stream, but then Big Daddy Bezos was like, no, we're just gonna run them like every 30 minutes, and you can't do anything about it. Fucking love it. This is where any self-respecting streamer would go, well, you could subscribe, but no, it's kind of a hostile atmosphere that they've created here, and it's why I think primarily Mark streams world-building stuff on YouTube and only does gaming shit on Twitch, because gaming, you know, you miss 5 minutes here or 10 minutes there, not a big deal. World-building stream, it's pretty disruptive. What the hell was I looking at? Oh, I was checking all these other ones. And then I wanted to do... It's been 2 hours. 918 Cabra, darling. Beloved spreadsheet secretary. It's 1 a.m. there, isn't it? I was gonna ask how much later are you gonna be up? Fun? No. Sacagawea, nope. I was joking about this the other day, specifically not her. Because of this. She was a noteworthy woman, but maybe in the US. I would say bring up Sacagawea much later. Like for United States system, specifically a United States system. I don't mean PSA or USA, I mean a USA system. Maybe bring her up, but not an independent system. She was a really important interpreter, but like goddamn, depressing as hell. You can ignore the coffee stream bot. It's just there to poke when I'm actually trying to monetize, and I'm not actually trying to monetize. Actively, I try to get people to leave the fucking stream. I am... No fucking Epsilon Iridani. Oh my god. Kuat, no. Also, add these. Tarsonis. You got me with Tarsonis. Move him down here. This is the fucking star rail. I don't think either of us care for this specifically. Tarsonis is actually iconic, I think. What the hell? What? Tarsonis wasn't for a specific reason, was it? No, just random. I think there was probably something to Tarsonis, etymologically. Tyrannus. No, but Tarsonis, that fucks. Dylar, I think that's too specific. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Mark is more of a fan, and I will be chastised for this, but I'm leaning on no right now. Oh yeah, I gotta move all these, huh? Kuat, no way in hell am I gonna give the okay to us using Star Wars names. Zero fucking chance. Look, just let us have a little Tatooine. It's fine. Me fucking waxing poetic over here about how we need to take this seriously and that we owe it to the artists, and then, what do we call planets? The system, Dagobah? No. That's for Corey's channel, not here. Okay, so the Acadian Expanse is probably, if Mark streams on Wednesday, which honestly, it's a 50-50 chance at this point. Mark has made it very clear why he has not been streaming, when he has not been streaming. I don't want to anticipate or speak on his behalf when he's going to be streaming or when he's not going to be streaming. So the idea week before last, was the Acadian Expanse would be a co-op stream with him and Tim Barton working together, and it was a very cool idea. That was what was on the books. What happens next is an entirely different question. I personally don't expect another lore video out before the end of April. I would love for us to have a stream on, March 1st? Or May 1st? I'd love us to have a stream on May 1st. Give it a 50-50. I honestly give it a 50-50. It could happen, it could not happen. I really encourage people to not be dicks about it if it doesn't happen. To really just be cool as hell. Arcan, my man, quit calling out when I approve or don't approve systems. It is a little uncomfortable. It's not personal, and I don't want it to be personal. I don't want to feel bad when I reject people's names, and I don't want people to get competitive about it because it's not a competition. The names are here to kind of encourage people a little bit. Honestly, okay. The names are here because I know that people, myself included, will be like, well, I'd like to be noticed. And it is that in a way, but also it's to emotionally manipulate you into adding more names. This field, this accreditation field, is purely manipulative on my part. Purely. It's... We'll look behind the curtain. We don't use it on the canon star list, but we do pay attention, right? Mark and I especially pay attention. I, specifically, if we're gonna do a shout out to names I really like, Carbon has been knocking it out of the park with some good names lately. Not all of them. You know, if we look at Carbon's name suggestions, and this is Nightmare Fuel. I'm sorry, Carbon, if you're seeing this. I would hate if somebody did this to me. A lot of Carbons are like, pretty okay. Cool. Ubuntu, I accept. Pretty good. Didn't know this was a thing. Pretty good. Okay. Jabberwocky made me laugh, so it's on here. Yeah, hadn't thought of that one. Hadn't thought of it. Wait a minute. No, this one I have to reject. God damn it. This isn't a codex to do. What I like about Carbon, I'm complimenting someone here. I like that Carbon makes me think. I like that Carbon introduces ideas that I'm like, huh, I hadn't thought of that before. Huh, I should look into that. I fucking love when people do that. Oh, I just resized this like a fucking idiot. God damn it. But please do not call me out if you're like, why did you reject this one? You can ask, hey, I'm curious, why was this one rejected? Is there something I can do better? Something like that. But especially like arguing with people or being like, hey, who edited or who messed with my da-da-da-da-da. Like Marcus said, the moment it's on the spreadsheet, it is not yours anymore. It's ours. It's Mark's, specifically. It is Mark's. Your IP, your intellectual property, stops the moment it hits the spreadsheet. Once it's submitted, it is the property of Mr. Canada himself, Mark. It is the property of Swiss Knight. It is the property of Dawn of Victory. It is the property of the Templin Institute, more broadly. I don't own it. You don't own it. It's all Mark's. That's the verbal agreement and the tacit agreement of these submissions. And I think Mark should really make that more specific. Because people get possessive, and I understand the possessive feeling, but legally, it's not yours. And you gotta disabuse yourself of that notion very quickly. Otherwise, this gets messy. Codex 2. Make myself my own fucking little worksheet here. Okay, this is work for me to do. It feels good, right? When one of your names gets picked and you're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm on the map. That feels really great. Like, my dude, I get it. When Mark is just like, fuck it, Alex, we're gonna use all your names for the Well of Embers. Felt pretty cool. I'm like, damn, okay, all right. And then when Mark is like, and Vega Cluster, we're gonna name your way, and this, and then Mark DMing me being like, hey, you want a job? Like, yeah, okay. Feels good, right? But please don't hope that that's the outcome. Please just have fun with this. Please. Because we are a small team. Mark is a fucking streamer. He is not Mr. Moneybags. I'm not getting paid, right? Maybe, if we sell a lot of shit in the future, maybe, but this is all volunteer work. And just don't be dicks about it, man. Just don't fight one another over spreadsheet edits. And I you know, some people do it more than others. Some people do it a lot, and some people did it to me. Back when I started taking over, like, hey, who's editing this stuff? The people with admin permissions on this sheet are editing this stuff. Except Cabra. Cabra's my little assistant. Cabra's my little Argentinian nightmare. Cabra is my sleep paralysis demon. Cabra is my beloved little torture device posing as my Twitch mod. Cabra gets to edit stuff and not be Steph because I'd lose my fucking mind if it weren't for her. And she only had to put in, what, like 3-4 years to get to that point. So that's the bar. There was something specific we were talking about. Excuse you. There we go. Arcadian Expanse. Why don't I... No, not on that monitor. Not on that monitor. Don't want to open things I shouldn't be opening on that monitor. But on this monitor, slowly. There we go. Yep. And you opened into the wrong Google Drive account. Of course you did. You want to maybe be less slow? Something went wrong. You don't fucking say. Oh. That's the account. This is what I want. Goodbye to this. Drag this over here. Okay. Google being slow. Yeah, who could have seen that coming? It's me, actually. It's my fault. I've started working on an Acadian name list. That's not on a bounty. There is no bounty. I'm just anticipating that I'm gonna have to make a fucking bounty. But we're not there yet. Oh. I really don't know how many StarCraft references he's gonna want. Or Star Trek references, or Star Wars references. Like, Star Trek, it's easier. Though he's the one that rejected the name Vulcan, so that was not me. We were doing painters. I looked at landscape photographers as well. European pastoralists? No. Pastoral landscape. Kind of what I want. Yeah. Nope. All right. So European pastoral landscape portraiture or landscape painting was a big thing, and I have a bunch of American pastoral landscape artists. But I don't have a lot of international artists. I think I have a German painter. No, but he was American. Yeah. Painting? Yeah, but this is... Who is this? Asher Brown Durand. American. It's very pretty. Claude Lorraine, maybe? But still. But Lorraine ain't doing me a goddamn favor here, because Lorraine is not gonna give me Claude. Oh! No, give me the language, and then I'll see some stuff by Claude Lorraine. No, Claude passes the test. Okay, cool. So Claude was a landscape painter, just like these other pastoral landscape painters, and this is a really, really great example of pastoralist paintings. It shows this distinction of humanity with the landscape, humanity with wildlife, humanity kind of at peace, living this very pastoral, idyllic lifestyle. What's not present here, that is present a lot, is any kind of ruin like maybe this over here, but generally the inclusion of like Romanesque ruins. Yeah, this is very iconic. Yes, this especially. Worship of the Golden Calf. This is very pastoral. Very pastoral. Yeah, no, okay, no, this is it to a T. Landscape with Ascenius shooting the stag of Sylvia. Yeah, 1682. Those are pretty early. Pastoralism is really, really associated in art history with Acadia. Acadia, the namesake of the Akkadian Expanse here, which goes from like Greek literature through Roman literature into the Renaissance. It started getting reignited as a thing. It exists in poetry and paintings, but specifically in art. It became a major thing here in the United States when painting landscapes as kind of the portrayal of landscapes, the characterization of landscapes. So Claude Lorraine is you're not listed as a pastoral artist, but you painted pastoral shit, my man. His landscapes are generally a more prestigious genre of history paintings, in addition to few small figures representing a scene from a Bible or classical mythology. Yep, often that was the thing. Regarded as a painter of the Roman school, patrons mostly Italian. After his death, very popular with English collectors. We're not going to talk about your work. Tombstone, contemporary. Landscape with cattle and peasants. Well-developed style and technique. Ambassador of Rome, King of Spain. Reported particular important commission came from Pope Urban VIII. 4 paintings made for Pope. Style and subjects. Here. Subject grew out of a traditional landscape painting in Italy, mostly from Rome, led by northern artists in Northern Mannerism. Landscapes initially as backgrounds in large frescoes, influenced by new interests in the genre. Landscape emerged from 16th to 17th century, starting with Venetian-born Campagnola and artists in residence both in Padua and Venice. Although virtually every painting contains figures, if only a shepherd, their weakness has always been recognized, not least by Claude himself. According to Bottuccini, he joked that he charged for his landscapes, but gave the figures for free. According to Sandrat, he'd made considerable efforts to improve, but without success, certainly in numerous studies. Hunters are possibly elongated. Claude only rarely painted topographical scenes showing Renaissance and Baroque Roman architecture still being created in his lifetime, but often borrowed from it to work up imaginary buildings. Most of the buildings near the foregrounds of the paintings are grand imagined temples and palaces in a general classical style, without the attempt of archaeological rigor seen in Poussin's equivalents. Elements are borrowed and worked up from real buildings, but man, this is so interesting because a lot of this is so related to pastoralism. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I don't have Veslin particularly here. What the line I want to draw between what is a pastoral artist and is not. I have a bunch of landscape portraitures painters here, and we start out very, very strict, like actual American tradition of here. Let's Acadia, if I want to go to 19th century art, specifically not pastoral science fiction. It is man, Thomas Cole is who I would use to reference here. Eakin's Akkadian works in the 1880s. He's painting in Arcadia. Unusual venture into mythology, tackled. It's it's not just landscape work, but specifically, let's see if you actually summarize this well. I don't think that you do. Mountainous topography and sparse population of pastoralists later caused the word Arcadia to develop the poetic byword for an idyllic vision of unspoiled wilderness. Arcadia is a poetic term associated with bountiful nature, splendor, and harmony. The garden is inhabited by shepherds, figures in Renaissance mythology. Though commonly thought of as being in line with utopian ideas, Arcadia differs from that tradition. It's more specifically regarded as unattainable, as a lost Edenic form of life, contrasting to the progressive nature of utopian desires. Which is why with Lorraine I said that this landscape with Ascanius shooting the stag of Sylvia is pastoralist, because it shows failed civilization and this kind of sad reflection on what has been and can never be again. The heights that we will never again reach, this long-lost golden age, in contrast to mountainous topography and literal pastoralism happening here. With the American tradition, particularly of the, oh my god, Hudson River Valley School, which I think Eakins is a part of, right? No, not Eakins, fuck me. Callback was friends with Cole, right? Now associated with Dusseldorf, History of Mankind, late work. Okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna pull up Thomas Cole, because Thomas Cole is exactly who I'm thinking of with all these. Thomas Cole's Course of Empire paintings, and if you haven't been here for me talking about this before, buckle up, because I won't shut the fuck up about it. The Course of Empire is a series of paintings that really, really, really well exemplifies American pastoralism. It's a notable part in reflecting popular American sentiments of the time. Many saw pastoralism as the ideal phase of human civilization, fearing the empire would lead to gluttony and inevitable decay. Specifically, pastoralism in the American sense feeds into Manifest Destiny, westward expansion, the kind of American reverence for the West, and, you know, pushing forward pushing forward civilization, going into the unknown, all that shit, which was the whole idea of the Acadian Expanse. The Acadian Expanse was this nation building project, right? And I think last time I joked, oh wow, imagine that, liberal democracies failing in a nation building project. Haven't heard of that before. The Acadian Expanse is one of these, like, really idyllic things. Sounds like it might be hard to get artists following that specific discipline from outside North America. Yeah, that's the thing. Because specifically, academically, I've studied the art history of American landscape portraiture here in the US because of its relation to national policy, because of its relationship to the national parks, to environmentalism, to attitudes about ecology and conservation. That's my, I wouldn't call it expertise, that's my foundation that I'm building off of. I don't know how political or not these European artists are. If they fit the bill, I'm all for it. I would love more specifically British, French. Man, I wonder if Australia has a similar movement. But I'd really like names pulling from the big powers, because as I understand it, the Acadian Expanse was not purely an American exercise, but an OTO exercise overall. And right now, a lot of the names I have are Greek, Latin, French, Italian, Spanish, Algonquin, Italian, oh god, it's not sorted by, it's sorted chronologically. I have some indigenous names, English names make up a lot of it, Italian, French, yada yada, but I'd like to bridge out a little bit more. So other artists, like, we can take a look at this one here. Let's get rid of that question mark to see if it meets these themes, which is the most asinine way to do this, going artist by artist and arbitrarily going, do you think they captured the idea of an idyllic utopia long lost that can never be ascended to again, and man's relationship with nature, and how any attempt to assert control is ultimately going to result in failure because, we can go from the savage state of man versus nature, and nature being this massive thing overpowering man, and we live tiny in comparison to it, and then going from that to well, we're starting to be more equal and in peace with it, and we're making our landmark, to like, fuck yeah, civilization, to oh no, oh wait, wrong one. Oh no, everything's fucked, civilization was a mistake, this isn't sustainable, this glorious utopia is falling, to it was a mistake to ever try, the hubris of man, everything's returning to nature, right? This is such a specific idea and a specific story that Mark is also telling with Acadia, or the Acadian expanse, of a failure in trying to build an empire, that I guess I have to read about specific artists to go like, is your work really evocative of this vision? Which, man, that's just... it sucks. I don't want to gatekeep that hard. But I think Lorraine maybe works. Some of these meet this theme to me. One of the most prestigious genre of history paintings by edition of... okay. I think... don't I already have Lorraine in here? Wait, Baroque. B-A-R... no, I have Guercini. I have Guercini's Et and Arcadia Ego. What school were you from? Style of works and pupils. Maybe... naturalism. Wait. Is it called naturalism? Naturalism's good enough for me, man. I will steal naturalists. Yeah, well, this is what I'm talking about with complexity. The names that I like to cook up are like 3 degrees separated from literalism. It's not just, you know, word for star, word for fire, word for, oh, this is a god, whatever. It's what's the story that we're trying to tell with this region? What are names that relate to that story? And that's why we have these headers that Independent Star Systems doesn't give you much to go off of. But with like New Canaan, just quoting Mark, Pirate Zone, New Canaan version of the Golden Horn, quote, goddamn pirate nightmare zone. I used this quote a lot when talking in the back rooms. And then pulling from this and being like, okay, pirates, pirate nightmare, difficult travels, being raided, stuff like that, building off of that. And especially when we have a name to go off of, like Elysian, Arcadian, Amazonia, you can go, okay, what's related to Amazonia? Why was it named that? What else is associated with it? What else had the namesake of Amazonia related to Brazil? I mean, this is an easy one, right, to use as an example, but that's when I see people popping off writing that way, then I'm like, you get it. You fucking get it. You're cooking. Is it Canaan or Kinnan? The New Canaan corridor? This Canaan? I think this is Canaan. Right? I don't know what you're asking how to pronounce. New Canaan? New Canaan? And we're talking about the New Canaan corridor. It's Canaan, I think. Cursed name, by the way. Truly cursed. I don't know if Lorraine works. I don't know if, heard it's pronounced Keenan because it's like kick and non-bread. Look, I'll level with you. This comes down to Mark. And Mark pronounces it Canaan. So it's Canaan. If New Canaan were literally named after or by people indigenous to the region historically referred to as Canaan, and followed their linguistic structure instead of being a whole cloth new nation, then probably your pronunciation suggestion would be right on the money. But because New Canaan is a maybe Fallout reference that he doesn't remember why he made, that he's just fond of, and sounds cool, but isn't actually evocative of the Levant in any meaningful way besides just appropriating the word, I don't know. It's all Greek to me. We're all Canadian to me in this instance. I know that's not helpful, but I got nothing for you there. Quadrain, I need him to talk about his work specifically in this weird way. Yeah, essentially. I mean, Mark is our Stalin, right? It's his project, it's his baby, it's his IP, he is the creative lead. At the end of the day, if Mark says he wants something a certain way, I can be like, hey, this isn't grammatically correct, or I think maybe we could take this a different direction, or I have these concerns, or have you considered these alternatives? But ultimately, it's about getting the feel that he wants. It is his project, it's his world, and he's God here, right? There have been moments where Mark is like, I'm not really happy still with the names in, a given area. Just being like, I guess we'll float it and see what people think of it. So we listen, we care what the popular reception is. Specifically, and I don't think Mark made any mystery of this, he doesn't love the Seven Hills up here in Italy. I do. I love this. He's not crazy about it because it takes up a lot of space and it's really Rome-centric, and he didn't at first really get how important they were to Rome, and doesn't, the imagery there doesn't wow him, and it's a lot of space being given to one theme when there's not that many systems to work with. So this is an example of where me being like, but Mark, it makes sense, but we should try it, Mark, but Mark worked out, but sometimes Mark gets his way. Sometimes, and often, Mark gets his way. Sometimes Mark just unilaterally decides on an idea that I kind of hate, and I just have to make peace with it. Sometimes we just throw a meme system in the middle of nowhere, and it doesn't make any goddamn sense related to anything nearby it, but we just gotta roll with it, and we don't question it, and Whitaker is confusing the hell out of me, and it's okay. It's okay. I think, honestly, it's a really good balance of me being super pedantic and wanting everything to connect to one another and everything to be really complex and really deep, and him being able to just expertly pinpoint a vibe that he wants or feeling that he wants. He has this idea very clearly in his head, and it's a lot of fun to work with. Honestly, it's a lot of fun to be like, what if we try this weird thing or this weird thing, or what if we try to get about it this way or that way? Specifically to Arcan's comments today about how many rejected system names he has, buddy, you have no fucking clue how many rejected names I have. Not on the spreadsheet, on the back end, and in the basement where we talk about design stuff. You have no idea how many suggestions I've had shot down, and not by me. I shoot down a lot of my ideas. You think it's harsh having me tell you that I don't like something. Imagine Mark's like, no, I don't like that. That's a little harder to hear. It's a little harder to hear. And it's It's good. It's a good reality check, but also it's like, God damn it. I've wasted a lot of time thinking this theme through just to be met with now. Found some other painters have a similar style. Should I suggest them? I think you should bookmark them and hold on to them. Because I don't know that I'm right about what we're doing with Acadia. Acadia. I don't know that I'm right with the themes here. Mark hasn't created the bounty yet. I'm just going off of what he's talked about, and I'm going off of the word itself. I could be completely wrong, and I would hate for you to waste your time. I think that not many of these people might make good suggestions independently, but like, if I'm leveling with you, Pan? No, I don't want Pan as a system. Arcadia, way on the nose if it's not in Arcadia. Hesiod, who cares? Theocritus, who gives a fuck about him? Virgil, he's a poet, but fuck him. Poussin, useless outside of this area. Guccino, useless. Sanzarano, useless. De Vega, useless. This possible root word from Micmac, not useful. Verrazano, actually useful outside of this area. Gastaldo, also potentially useful outside of this area. But they're like 2 names that could maybe be saved from this entire list. I have no idea what nations are part of Acadia. So if you go into and we can do this together right now. If you go into the Champlain Group wiki, and my wiki looks broken, right? It's because I'm an editor and things are gonna look a little funky. If we go into Firebase Hector and we look at the proper nouns used in here, they're all over the goddamn place. We have Rousseau, French. We have Leafield, English. We have Teagues, nonsense. We have Rosaria, which is Spanish-ish. But Rosaria could be French, it could be any Romance language. Isabella Hector, Spanish-ish sounding. God, I pulled some other names out of here, but it's Bodhi. Bodhi I also pulled off of here. Bodhi is... Yeah, it's fucking nowhere, California. So there's not a lot to go off of what has been published already. Alright, so I might have spent the last half hour trying to do something fancy in Google Sheets, but giving up. What were you trying to do? See independent star system for newy, silly, anti-scroll tech? You're sweet. What'd you try to do? Jump to awe. Aw, that is a nice idea. How did you code this, Cabra? Okay, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna steal this. I'm gonna put it here. No, fuck, it didn't copy the... I didn't do anything. This is a great idea that we should probably put, like, here to jump to row... Oh, I don't know. This constantly changes. This is a really neat idea. And Cabra's trying to save my wrists from repetitive stress injuries. You fucking saint. Huh. This is a really neat idea. But because the numbers of stuff is constantly fluctuating on here, I don't know how we could incorporate this in a way that you or I wouldn't need to constantly upkeep it. Like, if we have it jump to, I don't know, like... 1500, but I just use, like, control up, control down to navigate here for the most part. That's why, if anyone's curious, these little dashes are here. It's so... I can just scroll from the top to the bottom with pressing one button rather than doing that like 5 or 6 times. Just shove it on A3. Yeah. Oh, to scroll to the bottom to help jump roughly to the start of Unsorted. True. Is this tech you're not aware of? The control down idea that I have going on here? Or are you trying to be sweet and do it in a cooler way that honestly is much more impressive than my lazy ass? I don't think you can edit this, can you, Cabra? If you have, I fucked something up pretty severely. This should be protected. Honestly, I think you might be able to. Let me make sure this range is actually protected. Yeah, hold on. Let's not lock myself out of here. Oh, I fucked up. It's only A1 to G5. That should be fine. Whatever, this is redundant. Yeah, it's protected. Okay, I can't tell. I did not have this tech. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I think it's a very cool idea. And very, very specifically useful. As far as what specific nations, oh god, pop the fucking neck, are in Acadia? So, it was an OTO project. We know that much, right? So that means the United States, the Pacific States, Australasia, the United Kingdom, and France worked together on this nation-building project. So names pulling from English, French, and indigenous languages within these nations makes sense. However, the Arcadian Expanse, just like the Elysian Fields, was it was people who didn't have a nation being thrown together to create a new nation. So what people? What backgrounds? What cultures? What languages? Great question. I don't know. Mark knows. And that's why I'm going off of something as vague as the proper nouns used in the lore video that we have put out and the meaning metaphorically and artistically of the name. Yeah, I don't know. I would hesitate to be like, this is where all the Filipinos went, right? I know there's a real temptation and a real fixation on the Discord particularly because, and I get it, because it's been so long since you've gotten new lore and new canon and all we've given you is map stuff. I get it. I totally get it. I would not jump to those conclusions. Me, staff, big name, big map nerd. I have no idea what nations did or did not make it. And you can point to, as I often do when people start going off about does this X, Y, or Z exist, you can point to the Astropolitics page here. We update this shit all the time. It is very much a work in progress. Yeah, just spitballing. No, I get it. I totally get it. But even if you're right, I don't know that you're right. Even if you're wrong, I don't know that you're wrong. There's nothing. I can't give you hot. I can't give you cold. I can't tell you if you're warmer or cooler. Even if I knew, I wouldn't be able to. But I don't know. It's not just that we're not telling you. It's that a lot of us, we compartmentalize things a lot on the team. Like, you want to talk about gun stuff. Curvo's who you talk to. If you want to post walls of text about names that, like, okay. The fact that there are duplicates in here, some of these haven't been mentioned by anyone except me. the specific meaning of certain things, a lot of people aren't so aware of. Here's a fun little fact. Is it Seekong? Yeah, this word right here, this is slang. This is slang that basically means, it is a term for homosexual people. It is a term for queer people that has been reclaimed in Indonesia, specifically. I wouldn't say it's an equivalent to us calling ourselves faggots or something like that. I'm gay, I can say it. I'm queer, I can say it. I have the fucking non-binary flag behind me and I took estrogen on stream. Fuck you. I can say it. I get the pass. It's not exactly an equivalent, but I'm not sure enough about the cultural context, and he didn't name it that. Sekong for that meaning. He named it after, I think, a river in Laos. An important river in Laos. But this is what my job is, to Google and read up on fucking every single name and go, Mark, you called that star a slur. Now that Mark said pretty much everyone got off of Earth, which makes things even more ripe for speculation. Yes. Importantly, every culture got off of Earth, not every nation. You know, we may not see Belgium. We may not see the Netherlands. We may not see Denmark or Switzerland or Guyana, right? Like, some people not gonna make it. It is a massive political, logistical effort to recreate a nation. Even like moving across a continent historically, right? If you look at Bulgaria is a great example. If you look at Bulgaria and Romania and the migratory peoples of Central Asia who came through Eastern Europe, who came through the steppes, settled in Europe, was a massive, massive effort. And the vast majority of those tribes, of those nations, of those groups didn't fucking make it. They settled in and they intermarried and they assimilated, there we go, into indigenous cultures that they ran into along the way, and they lost their unique sense of identity, and that's not a bad thing. That is likely to happen in the stars as well. Can't believe Mark would name a star Honky. Man, that would be so funny. We need a gringo system so badly. I have on the known issues public thing, like, we know that there's an issue with this one. And the back channel in the basement, I'm like, yo dog, you dropped a slur. Like, that's... You done fricked up. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's too many languages to not know. He did almost name a star pizza. Yeah, you know, sometimes fun is okay. And really, Mark is the one you should go to for the fun Mimi names. And then I'm the one that's like, with a fucking axe cutting through the door, screaming that we can't have fun. That this is serious. So if you want to speculate on what some good name ideas are, I'll wrap up with this. It's been almost 3 hours, and this is good. This is not just for you, particularly, or anyone who's watching after the fact. As of now, right on the end of April 2024, to April 29th, the Acadian Expanse is the next on the agenda. But we have something to keep in mind is there's a connection between Italian systems and German systems up through here. I have some ideas for what I'd really like to name some of the systems in there. We have the Tenarsis Gate up here. So think about names moving out of the naming schemes down here that are pretty mythological, right? Pretty mythological, pretty distant, pretty mythical, pretty airy concepts or directly windy concepts in Vega, moving up into the Virai Expanse, where Poland, Lithuania, Ukraine, Belarus, Latvia, Estonia, who the fuck else? I think that might be it. I'm not sure. So, okay, if... I'm just gonna butcher this. Fix it for me. I was close! I was close. I had the I in the wrong place. I didn't have a Y. So when we're talking about this faction, we know that Romania is not a part of it. We know Bulgaria is not a part of it. Ish. Because we know that this is torn between Axis and Comintern. We don't know a damn thing about this, but we know that this is Axis. We don't know anything about Czechoslovakia, or Czechia and Slovakia, but we do know that Poland, Ukraine. We know that these two are here. It's a safe assumption that these are here as well, and it's a reasonably safe assumption that Belarus is as well. So what I have been suggesting and what I have been cooking up in my notes is that for the, how the hell do you pronounce this? For the intermarium, I'm just gonna say the intermarium, the Miedzimursa, I would assume against these being a part of it. That's why on the spreadsheet Slavic is broken into East Slavic, West Slavic, and South Slavic. A, because that's a linguistic difference, but also B, probably only West Slavic, East Slavic, or general Slavic names are going to be used for this area. I have no idea when the fuck we'll get to Bulgaria. Bulgaria, we have this one weird ass, I don't know who suggested it, Bulgarian name in here that I can't explain this to you. I can't. This was a stream name that I don't like at all. I don't understand why Bulgarian's thrown in here. Kind of Elysian Fields is like the Axis just plopping people down, but it's mostly Italian except for this here. Bulgaria is probably... God, if I had to guess, because of the proximity of the Virai Expanse up here, I would assume up here somewhere. Part of this border between the Axis and the Intermarium. In the same way that I would expect another Bulgarian, Romanian, or other Slavic SSRs or SFSRs, Soviet states, to be on the other side of it, and kind of having, you know, the state in the middle with some Axis and Soviet systems on either side. That's the way I imagine it. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these aren't names that indigenous people would name the stars, right? Pogreba, and I hope we changed the name, isn't Bulgarian. The name is a Bulgarian word, but Vesper is not Latin, right? Vesper is just a Latin word. If we have Petrarca here, not only people born in southeastern or northwestern Italy live here, right? It's not a one-to-one. Just because there's a name and a nation associated with an area doesn't mean that the people there are all of that nationality, or all of that ancestry, or all speak that language. Sometimes with Italy, that's a pretty safe assumption. Sometimes with, you know, Turkey or legacy nations, we can make some assumptions there. But Bulgaria, I would really expect to be more represented maybe on the periphery up here. I have no idea what the fuck this is doing down here. Maybe the intention is for Bulgaria, Romania to be here, but then it doesn't really make sense that they're disputed between the SSRs, but maybe it's just the Axis has some parts of Bulgaria and the Soviets have some part of Bulgaria. It could just be that, and they're nowhere near each other. I do not know. I'm guessing it's going to be a long fucking time until we go more in this direction, but as we do, more Soviet names are going to pop up. For Soviet names, go poetic. Things that capture, like Lonely Feather here do, exploration, discovery, distance, loneliness, travel, voyages, right? Until we hit them and we get a better idea for what we're doing. Because like I said, we don't have any common turn, anything on the map, so there's nothing to pull from in sources of inspiration besides just bullshitting and going, I don't know, Malgrad. Stalin Jing, right? Just like throwing together Chinese and Russian Soviet words and hoping that they work out together. It probably won't. And we're probably not doing like on the old maps where it's just like all common turn. Ah, it's an ad break. God damn it. I can wait. Hey, YouTube chat. You're the one seeing this for the next 1 minute and 15 seconds. You should hang out on the Discord while we are talking about this stuff. You should give feedback in the proper forums in the star map directory and forum is the wrong word, channel on the Discord, because we created it expressly for the purpose of the community giving feedback. It was a conversation between myself, Mark, and Raven to if it was worth our time and for a way for us to concentrate feedback together. So that is the purpose of that channel. So if you have thoughts on the map, if you think Alex is completely wrong about why this should be named this or that's named that, or maybe the slur should stay, please don't make that post. You should bring it up there, right? Ad break ends in 22 seconds. I got nothing. I'm trying to plug the one place that people are supposed to be talking about this, and I'm out of air, and I want to continue talking, but I want to give the live audience the benefit of being able to hear what the fuck I'm talking about, and we'll be able to do that in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, ads should be over. All I did was yap and suggest that people post feedback in the Star Map channel, because that's what it's for, and that's why Mark and Raven and I talked about making it. Because we wanted to concentrate all the feedback in one place. I don't know, honestly, what the fuck we're doing out here. Don't try to guess, is my best advice. Go vague, go poetic, go independent star names, but Russian. But I don't know. Opera lets me unmute the stream during ad breaks. Yeah, I just take my headphones off, honestly, or I mute the stream. I don't do it. If you want to talk about what's going on down here with the sphere, I think there's some great inspirations to look into in what New Canaan territory slowly seeped into, going more and more about these very, oh my god, what the fuck is the word? Nautical words about trade, words about maritime is the word I wanted. Commerce and things like that, but keeping them kind of loose, not specific to any particular area so much as just trying to capture a vibe. And then as we get closer to doing nations, we can get more and more specific. Don't try to guess anything in OTO. Don't try to preempt any of this shit. I promise you it won't be worth it. I cannot give any sense of how long this is going to take, except a long time. Don't try to guess. Don't try to preempt it. You can work on stuff on your own time, but, you know, some vague stuff has been said about maybe Caribbean states being in here. That's a big maybe. That's a big maybe. And, I mean, fuck knows what the hell we're doing with the Hydrus Expanse and how that's connecting to Philadelphia or wherever. Presumably, like, right through here, but who knows? And are there systems along the way, or are there not? There's a major line coming in here and coming in here. What does that look like? I don't know. Don't try to guess it. You're just gonna end up disappointed if you do. Try to think of, I think, like, vague aspirational words. Like, we have a lot of English. We should have a lot more of those in French for system names, but is it presumed each faction is close to each other in some way? Because it looks like the sphere and the common term are very far. So, there are quarters of the map, right? The OTO is dominant in this area in the Sea of Clouds, right? The Axis is predominant up here. The Comintern are predominant up here, and the sphere predominant down here. Being predominant does not mean that they are completely unchallenged. It doesn't mean that they're alone. It doesn't mean that there are not problems and complications in that area. But it does mean that they're largely alone there. We will have some of these corridors, like the Elysian Field and the Akkadian Expanse, that touch some of these that are, geographically, if you will, close to each other. But so too will we have member states of the OTO, of the Axis, of the Comintern, of the Sphere, who are not in their respective corners. The idea is a lot of these independent systems are one or the other and are just a fucking mess. If we had a political map here, as Mark was showing off with the Elysian Fields during his stream, and you know what, I can pull that up to illustrate this point a little bit more. It's just fucking chaos once you get down to the actual ownership of specific systems. And that chaos is by design, and it's intentional. Yeah. Shh. Quiet, you beautiful Canadian, quiet. You get your Calgary words far away from me. I don't even think he's from Calgary. Is he? Hold on. Is Calgary the one I think is in the middle of nowhere? Is this, is it Calgary? Is it Edmonton? I don't know. I think Mark is from Alberta. I'm not 100% on that. I'm not trying to dox the guy. He's mentioned it. Also, like, Alberta? Really? Picking the Midwest of Canada? That's an L. It's better than the actual Midwest. But when Mark is going on this madman painting spree, not this one, where Mark just starts circling shit and going on about like, well, this is independent, this is this is that, this is this. Hold on. No, he's not doing it yet. Yeah, when he starts going full Pepe Silvia here, and like, this is independent, this is OTO, this is Axis. This is independent, this is OTO, this is OTO, this is Axis. And he messes this up the more he works on it, I think. He doesn't show this overlay again, does he? Yeah, he does. And then he complicates it more. This kind of bullshit mess we're seeing in Poreba, in the St. Christopher kind of triad over here, expect this everywhere. Just because we haven't shown it on, as explicitly on the solar subclusters, largely independent, but like things like the Juno Reach, what has been posted about going on in Sylvanas system in particular is also showing that the OTO and the Comintern are both in Sylvanas, and probably Dia and Artemis and Apollo and etc. Just because they don't share as much of a frontage, right, as you would think in traditional warfare. Just because, blue here, green here, or whatever, doesn't mean that this is the only front or the most important front. It might be the hottest front, it might be the most contested front, but every planet is important. In the same way that the, oh god, it's not the Monroe Doctrine, it's the oh, holy shit, Domino Theory, oh my god, Domino... which is part of... Fuck. The Truman Doctrine, there we go. Truman Doctrine. The Truman Doctrine everywhere. That we can't let any dominoes fall because any domino that falls will eventually cascade into us being fucked. It's kind of the theme that's been explained. Containment policy. Yeah, it's... Sure, this... Who cares what happens to one little crime ward in Sylvanas that's propped up by the OTO, right? Well, unless the communists get that system. If they got that system, they might get Dia, and they get Dia, they might get Apollo. And if they get Apollo, Sylvanas, and Dia, then the entire Apollo subcluster is theirs. And if they get the entire subcluster, then any trade route going through here down to, Turkey or the Sakane cluster, even into New Canaan, well, then we're in serious fucking trouble. So every tiny conflict is important. This mess is beautiful in terms of strategic implications. Strategy gamer brand, very happy about the idea of outposts and naval bases. Yeah, it's really easy to fall into this understanding of the map of, and this is a reason why. Hold on, I'm still here. I'm just opening something that I don't want to accidentally leak any spoilers. Oh, it opened in the right monitor anyway. Okay, nothing to worry about. Dawn of Victory. Yeah, this is the clearest example I can pull up. So in like these old maps, right? You'd be right in going like, oh, there's some really clear-cut, like, oh, of course the Germans and the Soviets are fighting over Kiev and Baden-Württemberg or Tarsis or Orson or whatever. And of course, any conflict between Japan and the USSR is going to be Vladivostok, Honshu, Yalta, Kuril, etc., etc. These really clean borders, we intentionally did away with by just trying to show ownership to try to obfuscate those clean lines and make it clear that there aren't clear lines. It's a war happening everywhere all at once, and it's just a headache to keep track of. Maybe we'll have an overlay on the like interactive map that may be an optional like political overlay, because it would be helpful information, right? Right now, no, absolutely not. That's more work. We're already busy enough as is. Will Japan still look like a banana? These are the real fucking questions, because that's not a one-off. Japan banana. Japan banana. Japan. Hold on. Banana, right? It would be breaking with tradition if Japan weren't a banana. But in all seriousness, I really hope not. I really hope it isn't a banana. I don't know what the hell's going on down here. This is an open secret. And you can go look for yourself in the original Templin video where Mark announced the map. We can go and look. It's not in this. It's in the way of world building, isn't it? Son of a bitch. Of world building. Is that channel called Dawn of Victory? Bro, I don't remember. We don't post anything here because we have so many projects ongoing. I don't remember. Hold on. Scroll. I have it bookmarked. Oh, I forgot that I followed you. I follow Tim Barton on here? Yeah, Tim, you should follow Tim Barton. You should absolutely follow Tim Barton. He hasn't posted anything for 3 years, but he's on here, and he has other pretty shit. Is it just Dawn of Victory? Bro. Is this the right account? No, this is the wrong account. I don't think I follow us on this account. Hold on. There it is. It's Dawn of Victory 2289. I couldn't remember what the fuck this was called. It's in this original one where he's talking about the map and he's talking about the rule of cool. And he's like, I'm not gonna show it off, and then this motherfucker does just leak the whole goddamn thing right here. Yeah, this is the local cluster, and then you're gonna pan out. And you're gonna slowly pan out. And he's gonna slowly pan out. And you can tell some things have really drastically changed. Like, Amazonia doesn't look the same. This doesn't look the same. This doesn't look the same. So these are very vague hints, and this isn't the only time that he shows it off. I think maybe in the universe launch. No, not the universe launch. In one of the videos, at one point, he shows the entire damn thing. I see the snail. No. No, you don't. He shows the entire map and what it looks like. And I don't think I even have it saved because it's so much of a work in progress that so many things change. There's a reason why in that intro video he shows this, because this is where the fine details are. I think further out have been rendered, and there's like colors and clouds, but they're not saturated or colored a certain way. Maybe they don't have all these fine little details like the Pillars of Hercules or whatever else. And I'm so glad nobody's argued about this. It shouldn't be the Pillars of Hercules necessarily. It could be that, or it could be named after the Strait of Messina, but Pillars of Hercules sound cooler, so that's what we went with rather than Strait of Messina. Point being, it's an exhaustive, glorious work in progress, and it's a lot of fun to work on. So me being a dick as far as names go, it's all in good spirit. It's all in good fun. Except when I start losing my damn mind, or I make Cabra suffer. The Janana. The Janana. I didn't see that. Oh, Cabra wants the Janana back, so I'm obliged to push for it. Maybe in a stream not too far in the future, Mark will return to Brazil and do the rework he was talking about here. What that will consist of, God only knows. More stars? Maybe. Fewer stars? Maybe. Less cluttered? Maybe. More cluttered? Maybe. I don't know. But I'd really like for us to move Brazil more into here and give some of the rest of this some room to breathe, but I'm also, trying to make an excuse for more Argentinian systems because I love my Argentinian mod and I want them to be able to paint a map. And sometimes you just gotta push for the bullshit you love. In the same way that I know people will, God help us, when the United States comes up. I know the OTO is what people are most excited about. I dread this shit. I dread when we get to work on this, and I dread when we move over here. I don't want to move into the major corners. I want to stay in the periphery for as long as possible, because my work gets 5 times harder when we move into deeply complicated areas. Fuck you, Tupi's your Brazil. Yeah. Well, it seems like we don't have too many Brazilians in the Discord, weirdly enough. I think we need more League of Legends references to really attract them. I was really expecting more, nationalism in here. And this is coming from someone who has Brazilian family. I think we're about done for the night. If there's any last minute questions, I can give you some ambiguous answers that won't be satisfying. Will we get content tomorrow or by the end of April? Probably not. Don't be a dick about it. Mark has explained and apologized excessively about why there have been delays. Be cool about it. I'm going to be a dick to anyone who's like, I'm tired of waiting. We were told by early April. I'm just glad Mark's alive. Okay? I'm glad that he's taking care of himself. I'm glad that our staff are operating in a way that's respectful of their health, their boundaries, and making short-term sacrifices and making short-term decisions that benefit them in the long run, both in personal health and for terms of the project's health overall. I'm getting very, very irritated with these people that every Wednesday or Monday will come in and bitch. I thank your God that I am not a mod, because your ass would be out of here. Will the infamous hazard line system return? Only if Tim has his way. Only if Tim Barton gets his way. Japanese names are going to be interesting. They've already been interesting. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the ass. Can't wait for all the genocidal names and anime references. The fact that the Cum in Stella will probably be the least Monka of the 4 majors says a lot. The Cum in Stella? God, I should know what you're talking about. The Comintern. The Stella. God damn it, that took me a while. I have no excuse. It's 2 in the morning for you, Cabra. It's 10:30 here. Good joke. Is there a nation I'm excited to do names for? Indigenous American systems. I really hope that we take the approach that not all of them stay in the OTO. I really hope that we give them a degree of autonomy and agency and self-determination, that if some of them want to leave, they can fucking leave. I'm really excited about representing First Nations in a way that's not just superficial and not just tokenism, but is meaningful and substantial. Will we be able to do that in a way that's believable? Maybe not. Honestly, it's fan servicing on my part. That is a thing I really want. I'd really like a name scheme that I'm excited about and I'm really interested in is if we have like American socialist secessionists who are maybe American systems that have flipped to the Comintern, or Russian federalists, or German liberals or whatever, that are breakaway systems desperately trying to make their way away, or people who have, Germans who are living in exile down here in the Sea of Clouds somewhere. I really like the idea of, at least acknowledging the ideological complexity of all of these states, and not simplifying them to a way of oh, Germans are Nazis, right? No, they're not. No, they're not. And we don't need to paint all Germans as fascists, or all Italians as the bad guys, or, the Japanese as bad. I'd really, really love an opportunity to show some more complexity there. And I think complexity is the big thing that I'm here for, and that I'm excited about, and that I take most seriously about this. Now, someone made a lot of love for German liberals, but there seems to be interest in the community to show that. Maybe. The community is hard to get a read on. The active members of Discord will talk one way, but people who don't talk but are following the project may have completely divergent views. I know that any time in the past when we have posted war that's ooh, yeah, potential conflict between the OTO and the Comintern, people get real anti-communist real fast and real excited about killing all the commies. But then the moment that we show that there's some more complexity in here and oop, it's a drug lord, fucking nobody says a word. So I would hesitate to begin to characterize the fan base, because I don't know, beyond there's a lot of memeing, and it's typical when gamers, especially Paradox gamers, start memeing, you get a lot of questionable things being said. And the tendency of a lot of folks to jump to talking about some of the shit that's worse in the setting that people really should just let lie until Mark gets around to talking about it, I don't know, genocide or the Holocaust, or what happened to this minority or that minority, or are these people still inhumane monsters? What about oh my god, section 241, is that right, in Japan? Bro, there's no benefit to having those conversations in the public sphere. Let the authors work on that, and maybe just don't casually talk about the decimation of a people, or the whole I want to reiterate, this is Alex speaking. This is Alex speaking in a way that is not representative of the Dawn of Victory project nor its team. These are my individual values. People need to stop fucking asking about Israel. People need to shut the fuck up and stop asking about Israel. It is a complicated enough history, it is a complicated enough issue at any given time in the last 30, 40, 50 years. Right now, it is not the fucking time to talk about it and to bring it up. With what is happening, and has been happening, but is happening in a very dramatic way, in Palestine right now, that is not a conversation to have lightly. That is not a conversation to be having in a public sphere by individuals who are not qualified to talk about that history, do not have an academic basis and a deep understanding of what has been going on. It's a non-starter. It's just a non-starter, and it shouldn't be touched. It shouldn't be talked about. That's something that should be talked about by the writing team, behind closed doors, consulting experts in doing exhaustive research, right? I have very strong feelings on maybe we should have a secular Palestinian state. That's what I would like. I would like for Dawn of Victory to have a secular Palestinian state that has Muslim and Jewish communities in a kind of idyllic way, in the way that we have made Pakistan and India get along. I would fucking love it if instead of a history of colonialism and genocide happening in Palestine, we could have, I don't know, just the existing indigenous Jewish and Muslim communities rebuild an idea of their nation in space. But no, that's never what the fucking Discord talks about. The Discord takes it up to 11 and talks about it in the most ridiculous fucking terms that are the most inconsiderate lenses to hold in the context of an ongoing ethnic cleansing. But, you know, US breakaways could be a good reason to get rid of the KKK and shit from the US proper and make it... Well, I mean, we tried that. We tried that on... Let me show you particularly. That's not right. Where is it? Where's Mark's big mistake that he deleted? Joseph, you can't see much here, but you can see the mistake that was Joseph here. and Mark talked about this during his stream as being a big mistake. It could be a justification for getting rid of them, but also, this is a work of fiction. It's up to the authors to say what is true or not true about the world. And it breeds life and legitimacy into these hate groups to say that they will exist in 200 years. Even in the purposes of a fictional setting, even for the purposes of it being kinda memey or dramatic or fun, it's still a questionable authorial decision to have the future have fascism at all, to have racial supremacy at all, right? I don't want the Confederacy or the South will Rise Again or the KKK or any of this racist honky-ass bullshit in this setting at all. Canon, all racists fucking died in the Sinfaxi War. Honestly, that'd be nice, right? That'd be nice. Golly gee. Now, it's not that simple, right? You can't just write it off as an issue and say, hey, you know, it just doesn't exist. But there's a line where you can go, hey, this is a demonstrated part of modern European Western behavior. It's an attitude espoused in Japan and a lot of Eastern nations as well. Xenophobia is a characteristic of human civilization that we have noticed and is probably something humanity will have to contend with moving forward. You can say that and you can explore that in a way that you're not painting Dixieland onto a star map, right? There's nuance and there's subtlety and there's treating an issue with delicacy and the kind of respect that a serious conversation about these things deserves, given centuries of racial violence, especially here in the United States, especially in the context of the last, 5-10 years. We can do better than this. We can do so much better than this. And the modern day lost cause stuff is already on the decline. Yeah. I would hope it wouldn't continue. I have a hard time seeing it continue through the end of, this century. But maybe that's idealistic speaking, right? In the same way, I am strongly pushing back on, like I said earlier, naming things after explorers and colonizers. And this is particularly an issue that I've talked about with the United States and with naming things here. I don't really want anyone who owned a slave to have a star named after them. And that is complicated and an ad block. Ad break. So YouTube. Hey, how's it going, YouTube? We have a bit of an ad break in progress. I want you to surprise me with, I don't know, a reasonable number. It's like 20 of these a day. 20, 30 of these a day for me to read through. We can keep that up. We can get to 2,000 faster than you think. We are at about 3,500 total submissions. Oh, you have no ads. Oh, way to go. I'm not saying that you should be using ad block. I'm, in fact, contractually obligated on this platform to not advocate for the use of ad block. But, we do have these funny little buttons up here. These funny little buttons that maybe go to extensions that might do something like that. But certainly I can't advocate for it. Nope. I would never break terms of service by just looking at these. Yeah, it's pretty nice, huh? Some of them don't work on Twitch. Yep. You were absolutely right. Not all of them work on Twitch. And also, what are we talking about? I would never start a conversation about ad block. Yeah. So, will hate exist? Yes. It has always existed. Will xenophobia exist? Yes, it will always exist. Will it exist in the context that has existed in the last few hundred years? Not necessarily, not inherently. Those were very intentional. If you even look at the idea of race in the United States, and this is a whole fucking thing, and we are way off topic for Dawn of Victory, and this is actually Alex showing off their fucking history degree. Race was intentionally constructed as a concept in the United States and the colonization of the Americas. The idea of whiteness was built systemically, intentionally, nationality by nationality, as immigrants to the United States became assimilated into the idea of whiteness, what a white person was in the US. Early on, white meant British. It didn't mean, it meant English, and then it meant English or Scottish, and then it meant English or Scottish, and maybe Irish, but actually English and Scottish and Swedish, and then Norwegian, Danish, and then Dutch, and then okay, I guess the Irish can be white too, and then French. But like Iberian Hispanic identities being recognized as white, and especially Southern Italian people being recognized as white took a long ass time. I'm talking like 20th century. The construction of race, literally the idea of what it means to be white or Caucasian, it made the fuck up over the course of just a couple of centuries. So, God willing, if there's the will, the political and cultural will behind it, and the material incentive to not reconstruct race moving forward, we can deconstruct our ideas about race and racial identity, particularly in relation to whiteness. And God, that'd be fucking nice. Are we gonna do that? No, probably not. We have space fascists. And dog, they gotta be fashy about something. And I think we can be creative, and I've talked about this, and I really hope that we're creative and aspirational about this, and maybe complicate fascism by going, look, they're right in this setting. They're right. Just clip that. Canceled. The fascists have real outsider aliens that are an existential threat to humanity. And they can point at them and go, they're the cause of all our problems. Why is the planet going to hell? Is it because of big industrialists? Is it because of unfair distribution of wealth? Is it because of class structure? Is it because of a lack of democratic institutions in our nation? No, it's because of those damn aliens poisoning the atmosphere. It's the Synfaxi's fault. We should all hate the Synfaxi. You all should volunteer to go push back the frontier and reclaim the lost territory, lost outgrowths, right? And all of this fascist rhetoric is really, really potent in that context. Really potent. Terrifyingly so. It's scary as hell that there is a very legitimate angle here. Glad to see some Census Bureau reforms happening to eliminate this stuff currently. Yeah. It feels very silly for me to be like, what am I, white? Granted, I've shared my 23andMe results. I'm English as hell. I am a gringo to the fucking core, and it is deeply shameful. So I really hope that we take that angle with fascism, that we really take the bizarro, weird setting that we have to our advantage and lean in that direction, so we don't have to be lazy and lean into fake bullshit. But we'll see. One of the tenets of this system, of this world building project, and I've rewatched the original 2 videos at least 6 times each. One of the core tenets is, I immediately forget the word, showing how attentive I am and how good my memory is. Inclusion. We want this to be an inclusive setting. So themes about genocide, themes about racism, themes about bigotry or phobias of like any systemic nature, it's very hard to disentangle those things from fascism, for example, and disingenuous, maybe, to some extent. If it is included, it will not be focused on. If it is talked about, it will not be glorified. If it is given air or oxygen at all, it will only be in the interest of depriving it of further oxygen down the road, if that makes any sense. Yes, it's going to be very hard to do that without whitewashing fascism. Absolutely, 100%. But that's the goal. That's the goal, is to talk about it in a way that is respectful and apt and nuanced, without making it trauma porn, basically. We don't want it to be trauma porn. Too often, discussions around racism and genocide just turn into trauma porn that are then used to justify other acts of inhumanity. We want to look at the, not ignore that kind of stuff, but setting it in 33 as the point of divergence means that maybe it happens differently. Hard to say. And, there's a real conversation to be had, and I think a genuine point of contention to ask if creating an alternate history featuring fascists in the future, but eliminating and erasing their historic crimes, is that, whitewashing? Is that trying to be too generous to them? I don't know. But it's kind of fucked up at the same time to sit down and expect an author to recreate the worst crimes against humanity seen before that moment purely for the sake of historical reenactment, right? It's a hard fucking ask. Yeah, uniforms are very potent, explicitly designed to inspire feelings of fear, and they look cool and terrifying and be like, oh, maybe I'd look cool, maybe I'd look terrifying, maybe I should do that too. Yeah, when I was younger and didn't know much about them, these uniforms look cool, maybe the people wearing them were cool as well. Yeah, and this is a huge problem with Hearts of Iron. with Paradox, particularly his Paradox Studios, especially with the Hearts of Iron series 3 onward, 2 onward, but 3 onward especially, fell into that trap with the fascists, with Nazi Germany in particular, by making them super powerful when it was more complicated than that. But your ability to like tech rush and things like that, players, myself included, at a young age were like, wow, yeah, the whole Wunderwaffe, Wonder Weapon program popularization on the History Channel, that leans into the same kind of fascist deification and glorification that we're trying to avoid here. Just being like, wow, look at the crazy shit they did. And, you know, your average American kid watching that going like, wow, that's so crazy. Why did we do that? Maybe they're onto something. No, you gotta be more careful than that. Disney-owned History Channel. Technically, the point of divergence takes place before the Holocaust really started. Barely, though, right? Barely. We're talking 3 months, 3-4 months before things started cooking off. And unfortunately, with section 341, 241, God, the fucking Japanese one, section... No, 240... What? 731. Jesus, I got that wrong all stream today. 731? Japan? Unit 731. I even got the other word wrong. That actually started prior to the point of departure in Korea in some small ways. So maybe we can stop that program from popping off entirely. But it does exist in canon. It isn't founded outright for a few years, but the initial program from which it was derived is in place since like 1930. So we can't dodge all the bullets. Remember all these documentaries about German weapon programs and the supposedly super wonder plane that would have saved Germany if only X. Yeah, no, the History Channel in the mid-2000s loved to run that shit, and they still do, because Nazis are, I mean, by design, fascism, like you were talking about, is very visually stimulating, and they're so dramatized as being like Satan in our cultural memory, that like, ooh, those are the bad guys. Oh, what if the bad guys were gonna win? Like, it's the History Channel shouldn't be allowed to call itself the History Channel. It shouldn't be allowed to dress up and LARP as an educational network when it's an infotainment owned by a for-profit corporation, because you get stuff that is stimulating and exciting to a broad audience without the nuance of being like, hey kids, like it wouldn't have won the war. Maybe we don't talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah, extremely costly, extremely impractical. Yeah. Neat theories. Like, there's a lot to be said about the amount of medical knowledge that the wider world has gotten because of the experiments done on human subjects during the Holocaust and by Unit 731, doing completely inhumane things. And there's like popular science fiction episodes of shows like Deep Space Nine does, and I think Babylon 5 I know does as well, having episodes being like, is it ethical to even use this fucking research? And that's a good way to talk about it, rather than like, oh wow, look at all this cool stuff, gamers! Like, no, stop! No. Yeah. Okay. I am gonna pop off of here. Thank you for hanging out. I do these streams daily. When daily? I don't have a schedule. Sometimes it's only like an hour running through the spreadsheet. Sometimes I've had 9-hour streams of me working on Dawn of Victory stuff. None of it's ever going to be spoilers. Sometimes, like the days after a world building stream is when I do a lot of my most interesting work, if I'm being honest, is making sense of what Mark has done, drawing up suggestions for changes, and all of that is above board. The long-term goal of what I jokingly refer to as the basement of the staff forum that you all can't see, the long-term goal, Mark's hope, is when the project's done, we can unlock it and show it to you all to show you what our process is like and what it actually looks like. But that is a long, long, long way down the road. So, you can catch me spiraling into spreadsheet madness most days, at least a little bit. Days after a major stream, you can catch me exhaustively world building and trying to make sense of hundreds of new submissions. And sometimes we just cook and we ignore all the submissions. But it's been a minute since we've had a new area, and I am pretty happy with what we have in reserve right now. A couple of ongoing goals for me personally that I'm working off of stream and that I'd love for more people to contribute to. Shout out to Arcan and Carbon for listening and picking up this torch. Sub-Saharan African names, West African names particularly, we are in severe need of. As far as immediately useful stuff for the next stream, Acadia is so vague. I encourage you to think about ideas of utopia without being too on the nose. Things like Acadia, but again, it's easy to go on the nose. Don't just use random historic like Promised Lands or whatever. We have enough of those, and honestly, they're bad names. Get more nuance, get more poetic, literally poets, plays, musical pieces of artwork, really aspirational world building bullshit would be a good idea there. I'm glad this is useful, and really I want to emphasize this. As rude as I can be and standoffish as I can be when it comes to shutting people down, this is a collaborative process, and it's all of this critical feedback is critical. It's critique. It is meant to help to redirect and clarify and emphasize what our shared goal that we are creating as a community is, and not to be rude and not to shut people down and not to, silence anyone or highlight anyone as being bad or whatever. So please always understand that's where I'm coming from, even if I'm having a bitchy day, right? I really appreciate all the excitement and the engagement, and I promise you that we dearly, excitedly want to give you more content, and there's some great stuff coming. There really is, but I can't talk about it. So until tomorrow or whenever, I'm going to say toodaloo. Thank you again for hanging out. Until later, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.